Yes. 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 Hmm. Man. Matter of fact, let the tape roll for this.
Girls are here to be sexy for me. Throw it back on a nigga. And that's why you're gonna drop that ass for a nigga, because you were put here to drop that ass for a. I'm not here to be some sexy slab of meat for girls. Girls are here to be sexy for me. Throw it back on a nigga. And that's why you're gonna drop that ass for a nigga, because you were put here to drop that ass for a. Right. Sexy slab of meat for girls. Girls are here to be sexy for me. Throw it back on a nigga. And that's why you're gonna drop that ass for a nigga, because you were put here to drop that ass for a. I'm not here to be some sexy slab of meat for girls. Girls are here to be sexy for me. Throw it back on a nigga. And that's why you're gonna drop that ass for a nigga, because you were put here to drop that ass for a.
Welcome to another stream, another session here on the Chaos Rain show. I'm Chaos Rain here. The links to follow me are the following. You can follow me on Twitter at Chaos Rain 7. You can also add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. Also, I have actually restructured my Rumble page a little bit. So for those that's not following Rumble, please make your way to Rumble as well. Follow me on Rumble. As you know, I'm trying to get it to grow over there for more harsher, more rougher content. So if y'all don't know what Rumble is, I would highly advise everybody to get the app too. I looked at the app; they do have an app for Rumble. So I know with most electronic phones, tablets, etc. And before I continue, let me make sure I'm seeing myself on that. I know the end. Hold on a second, guys. Okay. Also, you could also, follow me on Rumble. I'll post these links in the chat room, and it's also in the description of the show as well. So please don't be hesitant, but join me on Rumble. Try and grow that page on Rumble. So another outlet. Okay, and also join the Discord service of the Chaos Rain show. Am I missing anything? I'm trying to see if I've got everything. I'm just doing some backdoor looking. And I'm just checking some things right now, guys. Yeah. It's going to be one of these shows tonight, guys. Like, literally, it's going to be one of these shows. Oh, I forgot. Please like the stream as well. Hit the like button. Likes are free last time I checked. So be so kind and to like the stream as well. Well, I'm trying to remember here. I don't think there's nothing else that I can come up with right now. I'm looking at both ends, make sure everything's live and well, and see how my connection stays, But when you do these things, always there's going to be technical difficulties, like always, Nothing comes out perfectly. And I forgot one thing. In the chat room, please. 1 second, guys. Okay. All right. So let's put that in the chat room. And like always, like the stream, guys. This is something that was expected, and not only was it expected, nothing surprised me no more. I mean, literally, nothing really surprised me no more. I remember, was it in April, May? I think it was month of May when I did content on this other, also they call white supremacist. Well, she is Miss Pearly Finks, and right now she's on another bigger broadcast now. And the word on the street is, look like she kind of let go of her employees, and her employees are really pushing back and giving her the word of God, in lack of better words. But what do you expect? A lot of people, especially us here in the West, Americans, called it out a long time ago. And now she is actually moving on to bigger and better things, which is expected, personally. It really is expected. I mean, what more can I say personally? I mean, literally, if you think about it, she was only there for a time moment to use y'all. And after she got what she wanted, she is moving on to really bigger and better things. The YouTube channel, you could tell, as like I said before, the YouTube channel, you could tell, as I said, hold on, sorry, I got back. The YouTube channel, as expected, was only a buffer for a bigger, better things. Oh, well, why do you have this here? Our wonderful little female friend deleted the picture of her and Nick Fuentes. Oh, well, we got the picture anyway. You see, one thing I do not respect, and this is just me, I don't respect any sister, whether you're American, ADOS, or non-FDA. You go out there, you were on a podcast, taking pictures with a racist, seeing the pushback, and miraculously, the images just disappeared. Yes, it did. It disappeared. I wonder why. And for those that know what I'm talking about, and mind you, they have it on Fresh and Fit's side. I don't know what her name is. Don't really care. I'm going to share the picture to y'all to know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to waste time to know what social media she has, because anytime when you start backpedaling and you start removing any form of images, it's problematic. Where is this? Where is this? I'm trying to find the picture, guys. Matter of fact, I had to pull the picture out. So this is what I'm gonna do. Let's see if I can find the picture. If you notice the thumbnail itself, you see her in the middle kissing Nick Fuentes in the face. And I'm trying to find it now. Let me see if I can find it for y'all. I know I have it. Let me make this smaller, because I want y'all to see what I'm talking about. Where is that picture? All right, I see one picture. Let me see if I can find the actual picture. Where is it? I almost found it. Is this the one? That's not the one. That's the one. That's the one. All right. I guess I had to go back and... Oh, wait. I found it. Found it. Hope you guys can hear me. And I'm going to share this so y'all can see what I'm talking about. And trust me, when they took down the video, which is respectful, which actually no, it's understandable why they did it, because they want it on a more proper platform where they can go real raw, uncut. Personally, this is the picture of the lady. This is the picture of the lady that kissed Nick Fuentes I think during or probably after the show. I would say mostly probably after the show. Most like I don't think it's during the show. I could be wrong, because normally nowadays everybody knows when they go into these podcasts, they know what they're getting into. So here you go. I'm gonna make. Yeah, y'all can see this. Y'all see this? What do you see? These are the lovely ladies that were on that podcast. That was actually given, even if they have their own social medias, which some of them do. Some of them they don't disclose that. The one in the middle is the one that you see right there. I'm not sure if she's pro-black or partially Haitian. I'm not sure what descent she is, but as you know, she's very much hugging and kissing and very fond of the white supremacist they call Nick Fuentes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. A picture speaks and says 1,000 images. To let y'all know. Moving on. Let me drop this. Yeah, so obviously, like most black women, or they call it BLKs. It's another form of beacharchy, in a way. They I think with a few women on there that was a part of that show, some of them got bigger social medias for that, and some of them just, it kind of hurt them. 1 second. All right. So they're backpedaling, which is expected. But nonetheless, Nick Fuentes was on there. He did his thing. And, my biggest issue with all this, because I said about Pearly things earlier, a lot of black men got some heat for Pearly, defending Pearly things, which I still don't understand why they defend a non-black woman that you're not having relationships, which I don't advocate, but if you are doing that, there has to be some connection that you benefit off of this. And from my understanding, I don't think a lot of black men are benefiting off, dealing with or partnering with non-black women like that. Personally, in my opinion, I can be wrong, unless you're making big money, like you're signed to a acting gig, comedian gig, or even go as far as you're signed into a sports gig. I don't see anything else you're benefiting as a brother. I could be wrong, but I don't see it. But other than that, a lot of men in the space got flank and heat for defending Miss Pearly, even to the point that some other stuff that kind of divided a lot of spaces throughout the internet, from social media to YouTube, etc. Now, you know me, I don't like creating divides. I see the things and I might call it out as is, but overall, I think most of our people feel that by unifying with them, that there's gonna be something bigger at the end of the rainbow, or at the end of the road, for a lot of people that's doing social media or content. They believe they'll benefit more and better or greater by unifying and not saying anything of negativity or anything of throwing stones to the opposition that potentially will make them a lot of money. Y'all might know some content creators that might do so, but personally, how I look at it, yes, how I look at it, you have to stay true to yourself. I think a lot of brothers not really saying truth to themselves. They're looking more for of the bottom line than how can I say it? Honor and code, which a lot of our people don't got much nowadays, but it is what it is. So really, truly, I see it as another means to an end. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to run some of this video. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. Come on, run at some important parts of this Nick thing, personally. And and one thing I would say this for a lot of people don't understand: if you're gonna be using social media and you're gonna be posting pictures, and then you're gonna get backlash, you better think long and hard if it's even worth posting any images personally. Period. Because when you start doing that dumb stuff, you actually in contempt of criminalizing yourself, in my opinion. Now, one thing, matter of fact, let's see who these ladies are to better know more of the background, shall we? So, like always, we're gonna go through not the whole entire thing. We're just gonna go through snippets of it. So I'm gonna find the videotape now. Cause let's see who the ladies are, and then we're just gonna skip around this thing. All right, where is this?
Podcast after hours edition.
All right, I'm gonna fast forward this shit. Let me see. I'm trying to find something here. All right, we're gonna know who the ladies are because they'll better speak for themselves what they are on this panel and what they do professionally. Let me see if this is the right one. Because if we don't know, we're just not gonna know. All right, we're gonna start with that. And I'm doing a lot of flipping back. I'm flipping back and forth, guys, so don't mind me. All right, guys, let's begin. And where's my other banner here? Little fair use. Let's listen and hear firsthand who these ladies are, and then we'll go into piece by piece about this. Fair use.
Black folk, how they do?
Nick, you know. All right. How old are you?
I am 33.
Wait, 30. All right. Where are you from?
I am from Miami, Florida.
Okay. What do you do for work?
I am a creative producer and a program manager's assistant at Camilla's house.
Okay. Oh,
Hey.
Camilla's. Okay.
Yes.
Now, mind you, the first contestant on your left, where you see with the picture, the short picture of her kissing Nick Fuentes, she is in her about to be touching mid-30s. Actually, she's around roughly now, mid-30s now. She's very aware of what she did. Now, before I continue on, I've noticed, this is just me, I've noticed, I could be wrong, but if I'm wrong, please, people, you know where to find me. Leave a comment on one of my videos, and you say you have some video evidence of a lot of women going back and really giving pushback to this particular podcast that these guys had these ladies on. That had Nick on the show. If you have any evidence of a lot of social media content, especially ones maybe on YouTube, please let me know. Send me a message on my comment section on any of my videos. I'll have to probably hit you back up and probably send you an email, or you email me or whatever, and I'll look into more of a better rebuttal. But so far, from what I'm noticing, and this is just me now, guys, this is just me, I don't see not one person personally did any videos or any actual content pushing back and really chastising these 7 ladies on the panel that was on Fresh and Fit. But it sure as hell went in on black men in regards to Miss Pearly Finks, which I find it very ironic. But let's continue. Let's know the other contestants. Fair use.
All right.
Camilla's house, the shelter.
No. I'm familiar.
Oh, okay.
You guys also, give people housing as well. Help
Correct.
them with their rent and everything
Yes.
else like that.
Yes, I'm that person. I'm that girl.
Yeah, I had a tenant, man, that did Camilla's house, man. Y'all the worst. Anyway.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yo, pay your goddamn rent to the rent. Camilla's house. No. Yeah, they basically help some in the Miami area.
Yes.
It's kind of
No,
like sexually. It's a government program, but it's similar, but it's conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what's your highest education?
I have an associate's
Okay, cool. And what?
in medical administrative assisting.
Okay. And then what's your relationship
medical?
status?
Okay, so she's pretty much maybe a nurse overall, from what I'm getting at. I could be wrong. Anyhow, let's keep going. Let's keep listening. Various.
Question.
Yes.
Nick wants to know: is he black or white?
Black.
Okay.
Nick is actually for that.
Yeah, I'm a little afraid
Stay
to
with your
get
own.
outside of my race.
Okay, what about you? What's
So
your
she don't date outside race.
I'm Kiki.
All right.
Chris, did you do this on purpose? You can say "Hey y'all" 8 times.
So childish, man.
All right, it's Kiki. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay, where are you from?
Originally from Washington State.
What part of Washington?
Like right on the border of like Portland, Oregon, and Vancouver, Washington.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, do you live here in Miami now, or are you just visiting?
No, I live here.
Okay. What do you do for work?
I'm an athlete, so I go to school. I don't work.
Okay, full-time college student.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what do you do? What sport do you play?
Soccer.
Soccer?
You play soccer?
Yeah.
Now, actually, no, the next person is a young. I think she's youngest out of all of them on the round table. I think she's not mixed. They said a lot of them, most of them were black, but they could be mixed with others. But she's a young 22 from another state.
NAI. What's that?
Your
Like I don't
like
even know how to
below
explain
D3.
it. Yeah.
Is D3?
No, it's like below D3, but it's like it's not in the like D1, D2, D3.
DL, division loser. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I wish I could fast forward this to the next point, but this is not really organized. I guess because you ask whole simple questions. Let's keep listening.
university.
No?
Nah,
it's like above
It's
JUCO.
university.
Oh.
I already
Alright.
went to a JUCO.
And well,
Oh,
she goes to
period,
school for
girl.
free. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then what are you? You're
Shoot.
pursuing your bachelor's degree, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
What are you majoring in?
psychology.
Okay. You.
Yeah, a useless degree. Unless now, mind you, with psychology, unless you get a doctorate degree in psychology, it's not really much a useful degree. I mean, people could find some work, but really, unless it's not higher, it's nothing.
Stop
Okay.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, I knew it.
And
Wait,
then
next person.
Yeah.
I got you good.
I mean, I got a 4A scholarship, so does that tell you something?
I missed something.
Other than that,
I mean, you can
Okay.
pull up some highlights. I don't care. Like,
are you? Do you want D2 or D3?
I mean,
I would fast forward, but I don't want because this thing's not really organized. And I fast forward, guys. Wait till she say her little thing. All right. And as Wayne, please, guys, hit the like button, like, share too,
it's not in the like, D1, D2, D.
and share if you want to. And please keep hitting the like button.
That's why I'm just fucking with you. All right, but NAI,
Like junior-
NIA,
like
I
junior
never heard of
college?
that, but okay. And then
Is it like community college or junior
No.
college? Junior college?
It's a university.
No?
No, it's like above
It's
JUCO.
university.
she goes to school for free. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then what are you? You're
Shoot.
pursuing your bachelor's.
All right.
Relationship status.
Single.
All right, cool. What about you?
Hey y'all. I'm Stephanie Mason.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 20.
Where are you from?
Texas.
What part of Texas?
Dallas, Texas.
Oh shit.
South
Okay.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, I knew it.
And then what's your profession, or are you a student?
I'm a student. I'm studying psychology.
Okay. Pursuing.
Now. Oh wait. Oh sorry.
FMU.
FMU. Okay. And then what's your relationship status?
Single.
Cool. What about you?
Wait, before because see the next woman, I was wrong. She's right now the youngest. Right now, she's 20 years old, and she's from from the great state, the Longhorn state of Texas. You know how women do it down in Texas. They get around. That's all I gotta say. They get around. And as you know, rumor is I think said that a few of them might have an OnlyFans. Or a few of them might have OnlyFans. Now, the social media links that was laid out in the description of this particular broadcast, there's no external links to verify if out of these 7 ladies, more than half or maybe less than half have an OnlyFans. But we all know when you're a part of Fresh and Fit podcast, most likely you're trying to grow a following. And you're trying to grow your following really big, especially if you're dealing with a channel that had roughly over 1 million subscribers. That gets roughly 7 to maybe possibly 10K live watching a stream a day on the average. Now they'll fluctuate to get over 10, maybe 20, or maybe more than 20. But overall, they keep an audience roughly over almost approaching 10K on a live stream. It's a lot of money. It's a lot. I'm just telling you right now. It's very a lot. So anyway, that's her. She's the youngest so far from Texas. Let's keep going. Next lady is the one in blue. And this nice succubus woman in blue, and hoping that's her natural hair, and look like she's very busty in all areas. Let's see what she has to say. Fair use, fair use.
Hey y'all.
Welcome back.
Hey y'all, Phantom in the building. I'm 33. Highest level of education. I have a master's degree. Currently doing this law school fight, song and dance. What else?
Where are you originally from?
Oh, Indianapolis, Indiana, originally.
Okay. And then what do you do for a profession? I think we know, but I mean, it's always. It's
So my business is Phantom Intimates. I have a lingerie. I sell men's and women's lingerie. So phantomintimates.com. Make sure you check me out. I'm also a radio personality. At a 103.5 The Beat if you're ever in Miami. Download the iHeartRadio app.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Shout out to y'all because I noticed because I do this. So, you know. And lastly, y'all catch me at the trap still.
All right, so she's still scripting. All right, cool. And then what's your and then highest education master's? What do you have it in?
Hospitality and tourism management.
Okay.
And dating status?
Oh, single.
She belongs to the street. Oh.
And since this woman has a master's degree, and looks like she is quite somewhat qualified, depending on what type of master is and what degree she got. I mean, she's not a bad looking woman, but the one thing that really get me caught up, and I find it very ironic, is that you got a master's degree, but you up here having the conversation and go as even far as doing this.
She slapped.
Yeah. Enough said. Let's keep going. Fair use.
Okay. What happened to the last guy?
Yeah, what happened to
Oh my
him?
God,
I don't want to talk about it. I'm so heartbroken. I don't want to talk about it. Like, it's really fucked up.
God
Like,
damn it. We'll probably get into it. Wait, what was his race? Was he black?
Yes, I won't date a white guy. All the way I can do for me is give me
Good.
Nigga's like, yeah.
Nick's like, I'm
Oh, shit. All right. This is more entertainment than I thought it would be. Me just sitting in the background. All right. What about you? What's your name?
I find it interesting. She says she won't date a white guy, but she'll sure as hell twerk on a white dude. I find it very interesting. 1 second, guys. What is this? I got a message. Please see. Please. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I'm just looking at some things right now. All right. It's nothing important. All right. Yeah. Yeah, she sure as hell danced on a white dude. That's for sure. Anywho, let's see the next person. And right now we got two women in their 30s. The other two are under 25. So let's listen more to the next contestant. Fair use.
Hey y'all.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, that's
I knew it. I knew it. Right when you looked at her,
I was like, wait, did I just ask you questions? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's your name?
My name is Anna.
Anna. Okay. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay. Where are you from?
Washington State.
Okay, that makes sense. And then what do you do for work?
I'm an esthetician.
Okay. What's your highest education level completed?
I have a bachelor's degree in sociology.
Okay. Did you also play soccer for free?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Did you go to the same school as her?
Nah, I had gone to UAPB in Arkansas.
UAP?
UAPB.
UAPB. Okay. Is that a Division I school?
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. So who's clearly the better
Don't do
one?
that. Don't do
that. All right. And then what's your relationship status?
I'm newly single.
Oh shit.
And in Miami.
And in
I
Miami.
hit Miami.
Are you visiting or do you live here?
I just moved here like 2 weeks ago.
I'm telling you, bro.
And you came.
I've been lived here for like over a year.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you
I
go to school out here?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. All right. And then cool. And then why the relationship? Okay. What race was he?
He was black.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, these dudes are very proud that black women are like swore like that. But I don't know why that's even of importance personally. If you're not even claim that you're black. I mean, I know Myron say he's not black; he's more Arab, which Arab's not race, but that's another question. A lot of people don't understand the social dynamics of what race and ethnicity is. I find that very interesting. People think that because they don't claim as white, they're other. No, there's only white and black in America. That's the categories. They might add some extra more labels, but all other cultural groups know if they select any other box, they will not be entitled to any wealth or riches in this country, unfortunately. And they know it. That's why a lot of them do select white, which some are actually white. If you think about it, you look at them good, but it's for more insurance to get the resource and stuff on here. But anyway, let's keep going. Fair use.
You can't make this up, bro. You can't make it up, right?
I'm right.
I have my theory on why this is, but we'll continue. All right. Fantastic. All right. And then what about you? What's your name?
So I go by Sauce Goddess.
What is it? Sorry?
Sauce Goddess.
Sauce Goddess.
Yes.
Sauce. Okay.
First name Sauce, last name Goddess, or?
Period.
Okay.
She loves sauce, all right. What the fuck, Chris? I'm just saying, she loves sauce.
Come on, man.
That's her name on IG.
All right. All right. How old are you?
I am 33.
Wait, 33?
Okay. And where are you from?
Miami.
Okay. What do you do for work?
So currently I am a owner of my own spa.
Okay.
Baby F. So
All right.
y'all can follow me, Baby F Miami.
Okay.
And,
Period.
Period.
Okay.
I don't know why they say that. Period. That sounds lame. Let's continue.
Okay.
So you own a spa?
And I also am a dental assistant as well.
Okay, cool. When are you gonna quit the? Well, if you own a spa, you don't need to be a dental.
You gotta get that money. So, but I'm just like still, working up, building my clientele.
Okay.
And then,
Okay.
so I can,
And then you're gonna leave?
Yes.
All right. All right. Good. And then what's your highest education level completed?
So
High school. Associates.
Well, esthetician school.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
dental
that counts.
school.
That counts. So
Yeah.
you got like your is it a degree or a license or?
So it is a diploma and certification.
Okay, I'll put cert.
Yeah.
And you said esthetician, right?
Yes, and
Do y'all
dental
work together, you
assistant.
two?
No.
Yeah, this woman is actually from Haiti. For those who don't know, she's actually from Haiti. So this is a legit woman from another country, or maybe a first time generation American. Any case, she is not ADOS, as you can tell, the big one, the big fat one, or what they call the plumpy woman. Very plumpy. I mean, a lot of dudes nowadays will consider this fake, but we all know the word fake has been used too loosely to a lot of people. And unfortunately, when you overuse a word, it loses substance. But that's another story. Let's continue. Fair use.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Curious. Do you do her stuff?
Yeah, she has falsies on, but normally
She
I do
usually
her
does my
lash extensions.
lashes.
Yeah, I'm her lash
Okay.
artist.
She's been moving, so we haven't had time to do it, but
Okay.
I also am a
Do y'all
body
have like
sculptor.
matching tattoos? I noticed both of you guys have tattoos
Yeah,
on the
we
left
got
side.
we have one
tattoo.
matching tattoo, but not all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And then what's your relationship status?
Single.
Single? Why do you say it like that, man? You sad?
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know.
We already know, man.
I got PTSD. But I'm also a body sculptor, just FYI.
Okay. What was he?
Stop
Was
the
he?
cap.
Was he black?
She.
Oh, it was a she.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Plot twist.
Was she was she white or was she black? What was she?
She's black. She's Jamaican and other stuff.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Other stuff.
All right. Nick's approval once again.
Well, sort of.
Well,
Yeah.
sort of. Sort of. Yeah, sort of.
Wait, Jamaicans are black though, right?
No, but
But
remember,
she's a girl?
She's a girl.
Oh yes,
Girl
yes,
and
yes,
girl.
yes, yes.
Christian.
Okay, I would say it's
Haram.
But, what y'all call it?
I'm Christian though.
What is it when it's forbidden?
Yeah?
We call it haram. What do y'all call it?
We just say it's sin.
You going to hell?
Sin.
Oh my God.
Going to
I'm trying to convert.
So
Then
much.
that's okay.
Yeah, this is getting very boring. I want to get to good stuff. I'm gonna wait till they stop talking.
I'm
All
Mia
right.
K,
Okay.
and I'm from Orlando, Florida.
Okay. Wait, how old are you?
I'm 25 years old.
25. You're from Orlando. What do you do for work?
I am currently in medical school, so I'm a full-time student.
Wait, medical?
Medical school, yes. Training to be a physician,
Okay.
MD.
All right. And then what's your relationship status?
I am spoken for by my sweet boyfriend.
How long y'all been together?
Aw.
We will be going on 8 months soon.
Okay.
Is he black?
No, we talked about this last time. I
Haram.
actually, I don't,
Sorry, Nick.
I don't know who Nick is. I like to meet new people, but he is Jewish and white.
Yo, it's madness. Madness. Yeah, yeah. So right now we have two, I think three 33-year-olds. One is 32, 33, and I think another one might be 25 now. Or actually, one of them was 25. I lost
More
count.
knowledge on
Right.
Oh, don't worry.
Nick
Oh, you
is.
must find out.
Don't worry.
I did not tell you at all.
Don't worry. No. He's the number one Zionist in the chat. Don't worry. He's off for Israel. Okay, let's continue on with the show. Where are we at here?
Chats?
Oh, my fault. She's 25. The last one on the far left, she's 25, and they said she has I guess a Jewish boyfriend, but she's mixed, so she claims it's mixed, so as expected. I'm just saying. Oh, make sure guys, keep hitting the like button, and please feel free to chat in the chat room. I'll be looking for reading questions. Either super chat. I prefer super chat better, but you know, it'd be good if y'all want to respond and interact in the chat room. I mean, as you know, this is not going to go away anytime soon. This is the stir of conversation at the end of the day. Hello, Positive Ive. How you doing? Hey, Positive, you know you got a few of your sisters that is Haitian descent, or either first generation Haitian or they born Haiti, up on Fresh and Fit, condoling the nonsense. They did not give this alleged racist any pushback. Well, to a degree, I mean, to the point where, you know, they were so thrilled from the say the N-word. Are you aware of this, Positive Ive? Let me know. All right, let's continue. Before we continue, let me see if I could fast forward to the good parts of this. We're not gonna go to who Nick Fuentes is because I want to get to something more. Why Nick loves black people. So we're gonna look for that right now.
Okay, hold on. Last but not least. Oh, sorry. Guest of honor. Wait, hold on.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna fast forward now.
All right. This is Subscriber Friday.
Yeah.
So-
Oh shit, it is Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm gonna turn it to Nick to ask the first question. We already got 9,500 y'all in here, so this is what we're gonna do. From this point forward, we're gonna go 50 and up. Read it on screen, and then every chat that comes in from this point forward, we're gonna show on screen. So we got y'all. Nick, I'll turn it to you with the first question.
All right. Well, You know, I noticed you're all black people.
No stuff. No shit, really. You didn't notice that? I hope your eyes are working well, Mr. Fuentes. You can see you're in a room where it's full of color, mostly darker hue in the spectrum. And as you know, they're very much friendly and they take in liking and love of you. So obviously, if you did not notice that now, I'm sorry for you. But let's listen to his response. Fair use.
Wait a second. This is when you're out of here.
And what about it?
Right.
I think you're all black.
What about it?
You're the only white.
First of all, Nick has never been around this many black people in his life. So let's give him. I know, baby, I know. So let's give him some grace.
He's handling himself.
Yeah.
Barely.
He's Italian. It's expected.
I just want to say at the outset, okay, I don't know what you guys know about me.
Not
I
a
love
thing.
black people. Okay, I just want you to know.
Oh yeah.
All right.
We want to know.
I'm not a racist. I'm a big fan. Love what you guys are doing.
Can you name 3 things that you love about the black community?
Right.
Though?
Funny, musical.
All basic shit. All basic.
What was it with this man? Time I say funny and musical. That's low level stuff. But like I said, when you think and believe that black people are very inferior, you're gonna give these easy answers to fill up your already understand ego. Oh, positive vibe. Do you hear me earlier? What I said to you that you have a few of your sisters of the Haitian persuasion on this Fresh and Fit panel. How there was so much kiki and laughing, goggling. I think one of them, or two of them, was twerking in front Nick. Even one go as far as gave a nice kiss to the cheek to Nick. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but I'm gonna read your comment in a second. But let me keep going on. Fair use, fair use.
Favorite black comedian?
I got a question next.
Oh, I don't know. David Pryor.
Okay.
Is that good?
Okay.
I actually am not familiar.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor. Thinking of Dave Chappelle. I get them all mixed up though. I get them all twisted up in my head.
Corns and Nick doll look the same, so don't worry.
Exactly.
They all look similar.
Exactly.
They all look similar, you have to admit.
What's your favorite black historical or political figure?
Historical or political figure?
Please don't say. Don't say
Kanye West.
Okay.
Easy.
I love Kanye.
Real quick. Did Nick? Did you have a question, or did you want the ladies to ask you a question?
Well, I'll ask the question. I just wanted to put that statement out there.
Okay.
Because we've been talking about race mixing.
Okay.
That's sort of been.
That's the first time that word has been said.
Nobody said that.
Well, on the show before you guys got here.
Okay.
And indirectly also, yeah. So I thought I'd ask the panel, and this is really prompted by Myron, because I respect everybody's opinions on this, but what does the panel think about race mixing? You all have black boyfriends, except for the
Clammy?
Jewish boyfriend. Why don't we start with you? What do you think about race mixing?
Before he answers this question, make sure you guys support the channel. Leave a super chat or give a donation through the Cash App. You see the $, Chaos 8 Rain and yada yada. And also, please interact in the comment section or the chat room section. He's asking a very serious, important question to all these ladies on the panel, majority of them black. Their views about mixing or mixing of the bloodlines, changing and manipulating the genetics of people with the help of intercourse. That's what he's laying out. He asked the first woman that's already mixing in already, that's already partially white, our views of interracialism. Who want to bet that she would have no problem of mixing to the point where she don't call it mixing? What's your opinion? And let me see in the comment section. Yeah, I'd be embarrassed. Yeah, embarrassed as well. All right, let's hear her response. Fair use, fair use.
Think about this. That is a fair question.
That is a fair question.
So, I actually don't necessarily call it race mixing. I call it interracial dating.
Okay.
So just right
Okay.
off the bat, I don't know the exact time frame, but I believe in the 1950s, that's when interracial marriage was legalized. Please, someone correct me if I'm wrong. I can't put a correct date to it.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Make myself bigger. You know, if I don't know the exact dates, I try to be very cautious on when I'm reframing and spitting out what dates personally when people start to happen. In my opinion, and the reason why I say this is because now when I start opening my mouth, I'll say some dumb stuff. Like literally. Some serious dumb stuff. But let me do this. And really, it's not really 1950s. It's actually in the late 60s. I'm not sure why people don't really understand that part. I mean, it bothers me, but that's not a story. But let's keep listening in. Fair use, fair use.
But I don't think it's inherently bad. I don't think it's inherently something we should strive for. If it happens, it happens. I know there are certain people who their dating preferences are anti one specific race. I do not agree with that. But if someone comes from like a very Asian family and they're like, listen, for cultural reasons, for like getting along reasons, for integration reasons, it's going to be in my best interest to date another Asian person. I really do get that. But if someone is like, you know, an Asian person who says, I'll date anyone besides Hispanics, that's, you know, it's a little sticky.
I see. Why don't we just go around the panel? Can I say my position first?
Yes,
Is that
go.
all right?
Yes, I can't wait to hear
I know.
yours.
Yeah, you guys are probably curious. So
Yeah, so like I said, you know, she believes that love is love. I mean, it's expected because you're a product of miscegenation, race mixing. So obviously, you're gonna be thinking of love is love because you have the unions of what the non-black and the black unions. So it produces this sort of love is all type of nonsense. So you know, I mean, but to each her own. That's what she wants, so that's what she'll get. Now let's hear from Mr. Fuentes. His views why he does not advocate interracialism, much as mixing of the race. Fair use, fair use. And this is good.
So here's my position. Okay, it's a little. Okay, you're going to be surprised about this. I think
Me?
Yeah. So I've actually said on my show a lot. It's a little controversial in my community, but I'm actually attracted to women of all groups, of all races.
Okay.
How is
Okay.
that controversial?
See, I'm 21st century. Well, here's the controversy. But I would never date someone from outside my race.
I agree.
Okay.
But here's why. So I'm Catholic. You know, my body count 0. I want to have sex with my wife, just my wife. And
You know, I don't understand today. I don't really get the notion of, I mean, at least have one body count. I mean, my thing is this. We all talk about preserving your virginity. Listen to me good. We're in the 21st century. There's no such thing as virginity. I'm not sure ever now in the last century or the century before this or 2 centuries ago that any person really, if we want to be honest, held any sense of purity. And the reason why I say this, and I'm being honest, and I can't say respectful, because people are getting knocked up. They're getting, you know, them cheeks clapped very early in life. Like literally very early. And I posed this question on another channel. And one dude looked at me odd. Another woman think that, so there's some people that still out here, virgins out here. And I'm saying, since when? The only people that might be virgins today in today's society in this Western world are probably the men more than the women. These women are becoming throat goats. They be getting their freak on, the eagle on, and they up in this riding and jumping on, the carousel. Like literally on that carousel and just breaking some dude's phallus off. I don't know why I'm being clean tonight. I should be very raw, but it's in me right now to try to keep some sanity of this stream, which is not really a sane stream because let's be honest. Let's be fair honest. The black woman today is all in love with this dude. Man, see, is there a body count? And the farthest he's going to get any access to, the booty is possibly outside his cultural / racial group. Because we all know, and we hear stories, a lot of sisters are just giving away like it's groceries, like it's candy. And as you can tell from Nick Fuentes' other video clip, and if y'all want, matter of fact, let me show you the video what he's talking about. And this is what all non-blacks view black women and think and feel. Look at this, guys. Just look at this. And I mean, honestly.
To be sexy for me. Throw it back on a nigga. That ass for a nigga. Here to drop that ass. I'm not here to be some sexy slab of meat for girls. I'm here to be sexy for back on a nigga. To drop that ass. Here to drop that ass.
Yeah. Let's continue. Yeah, I heard that. Yes. That's as far as this incel is going to probably get access to the boot. Now, some people say he should have no problem getting access or getting what we call intercourse, sex. But let's be fair and honest. If you say you swore off and you want to keep your body count as a man 0 and eventually might get married at maybe 40 years old and maybe lose your virginity at that age. And trust me, there is men out here now that are 40-year-old virgins. Let that sink in. You heard of the video or the movie called 40-Year-Old Virgin? Now, we all know we make laugh and fun at it and say, wait, you lived throughout your whole life and never got some? I mean, I couldn't imagine myself even that long, personally. I'm just saying, just personally, that's what I'm thinking. But no one said you waited, and this is the movie portion, until you're 4 years old to really get some access to a woman and get intercourse is very much baffling. Method is scary. Anywho, fair use.
I want to have sex to have kids. And I want kids that are from the same group as me. I want white kids. So naturally, it follows if I want to have a wife and I want to have white kids, then I shouldn't date someone outside my race because I'm not going to marry them.
Correct.
So that's my position.
Yeah.
But we'll go around. What do you guys think about that? What are your thoughts on it in general? What about you? So I'm sorry. Someone had a phone.
I was gonna say, if that's the way you think, Baby Blue, then keep that in your vicinity because
But he has the right to not.
I agree. I agree.
Of course.
Because dating outside my race makes me feel weird. I've done it just to make sure that
What was his race?
He a Nicaraguan. He still had color. You feel me? He was Hispanic. But
No. Oh, no. Well, it makes sense why you were having pictures, take a picture of Nick and Nas, even go as far as caressing, hugging him up. You also gave him a nice little kiss. Oh, wait. Is that what I see this? Yes. She called it. You know what time it is, guys. You know exactly what time it is. Where's my hell's my sound like? It seemed to me, Lena / Positive Eyes read my mind. She is Lucy on the carousel. I'm not sure if anybody heard that. Let me run that again for y'all to listen. And let me run that one more time for y'all because I want y'all to hear that one. Yes, she was on the carousel, Positive Vibe. Listen. Yes, on the carousel. Hey, matter of fact, since you're here and you're watching, and for those that's watching right now, let me share you a nice little picture image. One second. Where is it? Matter of fact, let her finish talking, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Fair use.
The same time, he still wasn't a black man. You get what I'm saying? So I agree with you.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, love y'all, but I ain't gonna date you, baby. You get what I'm saying? And I get that. Because I want black babies. So if I want black babies and I want the black race to continue, I'm going to, lay down.
Just like he's trying to push his racial agenda. We're doing the same by not.
Yeah. I mean, but
because it was cute how his message had a racial undertone and yours did.
Now, before we continue, guys, she did date outside race, the lady with the red braids. But really, truly, if you've done that, it makes sense that we see this. We see this. Do y'all see? Do you notice? Have you seen this? No more she was happy, laughing out loud and giving him a nice kiss in the face. Interesting. Very interesting. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a whole lot of sense if you think about it. Let's read. Did they really just work for Nick Fuentes? You've seen it firsthand. Fair use.
You guys said the exact same thing.
No, the only reason why mine didn't have a racial undertone is because I'm black and he's white, and people like
not necessarily because you called it interracial dating and he called it race mixing.
Yeah.
That is just
Oh no, I was talking about his example. Like he is a white guy who wants to date white women to have like white cultural standards. Where my example was an Asian person dating an Asian person to have Asian cultural standards. It's the same exact thing, besides white and Asian, obviously. But coming from a black woman, I feel like, especially in the society where very democratic, very libertarian people are like supposed to be quote unquote the correct people, they would like accept me saying it before him just because it's me. Which
but again, it's about the undertone and how you guys said it. Like I said, you have the exact same message, but you called it race mixing.
It's the
and
same
she called it
interracial race mixing.
It was just the verbiage.
One at a time, ladies. One at a time, so they can actually hear you. Somebody had something over here.
I just feel like it was the same message, but different verbiage.
Yeah, and that's what makes.
No. It's actually false. It's not the same undertone because if you date just dating, and we could say mating outside your race, it's race mixing, or as a form of mixing of the races. Like literally, it is mixing a race. And mind you, this woman that's in her mid-20s don't know even the history of how long miscegenation laws has been allowed in America, much less she called this thing interracial dating and all this stupidness, which is not interracial dating or cultural dating. It's race mix. No matter how you say it, it's the same thing. And because the one Mr. Fuentes has to sit there, had to educate another woman that's the same age as him, it's surprising. But like I said, women only, overall don't really investigate a lot of things. They mostly nest overall. Anyway, let's keep going. Fair use.
It's different. Like I'm okay. Like before we got on air, we were talking because somebody on my Instagram live asked me to ask him when he dated a black girl, and he said it with a smile. No,
right.
And I said, okay, I don't care because I wouldn't date a white man.
That's fine.
That's right.
And then he called me racist.
Well, I said that as a joke, though. I said that laughingly, in a friendly way. Well, but here's the thing: we are saying a different thing because you're saying culture, but I'm saying race.
Exactly.
And I think that. But here's the thing: I feel like if a white person talks about their race and the way that black people talk about theirs, they get called racist. But you said you want to have black babies because you want the black race to continue. That's why I want to have white kids, because I want the white race to continue.
Well, it's racist because of historical and because of systemic racism that runs in white culture.
So, but what's racist about me wanting to have white kids?
Nothing is racist about you, particularly because you're 24 years old. However, coming from a white, I mean,
he's about actually going to be 25 this year. What I know, fair use.
Okay, not white. An Anglo background, and you know our country was built on the backs of slaves and or taking people's land and or acting like it's ours. It's always going to be there. So yeah, and the fact that white proud guys go, we're the superior race, so you can't act like that doesn't happen either. So just because you're sitting here going, oh well, I'm different, I like y'all, I'm just not gonna date y'all.
But
it's still the same.
both people didn't mention anything about superior. Even I did not mention anything about.
No, I didn't say that. I'm just talking about culturally and historically. Is what I'm saying.
She's
like, I'm
not
saying nobody said that.
Oh, so like societally now the air is different because
systemic racism is real.
His ancestors might have had like totally bad intentions.
They did.
I don't even think it's too far removed from him.
No,
It's probably like his parents.
my ancestors have bad intentions.
In the
Well,
sense,
I mean, you're white.
All right, let me check what's going on in the chat room. Let me see how many likes I got before I continue on with this. Let me see what's going on in the chat room. Let me see how many likes before I continue. All right, got 10 likes. We could get likes so higher. As y'all come in or new people watching, hit the like button, guys. Don't be so stingy. Likes are free. Damn it. What's good, Marilyn Vessel? How you doing, sis? How you doing? Let me hit the like button. Likes free. You know, interact. I'm not sure we saw. Did you see this, sis? Or have you seen Vessel, Miss Marilyn Vessel? Let me know. Let's continue. Fair use.
Right, man. Like, I'm sorry.
Well, but you don't. But you're making assumptions. I mean, what background am I? Do you know?
Right.
You said Italian beforehand.
He's Italian.
Yeah. So
I mean, the Italians supported Hitler, didn't they?
Well,
And
not the
Italians are
Italians that
known
came
to
to
be
America, but
racist.
also I support Hitler, so it's really besides the point.
That's so.
But look, but you don't really understand, okay?
We are really good time now. Let's go. Okay, sorry. Continue on.
I understand that someone can say something like, I support Hitler, and it's like, okay, well, maybe you can support one isolated thing that he did rather than like the tragedy that he was known for. And it's like a tongue-in-cheek thing to say. I mean, as someone who is dating a Jewish man, like I cannot just like sit here and get into an argument over that with you. Like we would be here all day.
That's true. Well, and I don't support just part of it. I support most of it. I'll just put that out there. But
why?
That's besides the point.
I don't know why.
Murdering?
Why?
people?
Because, well, first of all, I don't think that actually happened. That's first. But second of all, I think the whole history of World War II is basically a lie, in my opinion.
It was genocide. First
Right.
of all.
It's also bad.
Now, you know, and let me make myself bigger, man. And I might have to speed through that part because I don't want to hear this fool talking about it never happened or it did happen. I mean, he looks stupid nowadays. Let me see if I can find this. All right. I'm trying to look for here. I'm just looking right now, guys. I'm looking at this. I'm just looking, guys. I'm looking right now. All right. I'm just going to keep playing because it's not showing up. So we'll just have to go through it. And I'm going to read your comment in section second, Mail Investor. Let's continue. Fair use.
Can you explain that?
So wait,
One at a time here.
Okay, we'd be happy to facilitate this debate. We'll allow it to happen, but just let Nick give his position, and then you guys can articulate your response back. But before we do that, did you want to answer the systemic thing?
Yeah, the Hitler
Okay.
thing to me is a diversion, but the systemic racism thing, that's really the critical thing.
Right.
See, I look at it kind of differently. You say that white people came and took the land and we built it off of blacks and everything. The thing is, though, where were blacks working or where were they slaves in America? They were slaves in the South, and they were doing agricultural work. And so as a consequence, they didn't really...
Are we calling it work? Or were they forced? Were they happy to be there?
Forced labor is still labor, right?
That's
forced
labor.
So, I mean,
Oh my God! Did you hear this? Not see. This is why, guys. She asked a very logical question. You see how this dude backpedals, saying labor is labor. No, that's not labor. Just labor. Were you forced to do this or not? Yes or no? Don't be a whack a woman. And you know, Nick knows the answer. He likes to play his little stupid games, tiptoe in the tulips type stuff. But we all know it is not something that it was labor is labor. Now I'm gonna read your comments. They put all those black women on the panel as a trap. They literally only have panels full of white women. Why all of a sudden is their panels are mostly black women? Okay. Why are black people platforming this guy? And it's trap. Okay. In regards to the question, wait, hold on. That this people had they had like a variety of white people, Hispanic, European, Irish, etc. on the panels, and now they have blacks. Melanie Vessel, I think the reason why they would have these ladies, this is just me now, because they want to really make this a joke at this point. And if you know Melanie Vessel, a lot of these ladies that do come and participate themselves in a lot of these streams, especially ones that is known to be blatant off the wall, where they want to sit there, Frank Castle you, or do some nonsense just to get the eyeballs, the views and stuff. That's a conscious decision, I think, for a woman of any age. And trust me, Melanie Invest, you know, a lot of women are on social media as much more and probably twice more than the men. And they know about these characters and know what they act and how they behave and what they carry on. To me, I think why they will put themselves and decide to go on this particular podcast is because they needed the greater attention. And you know, obviously, man, attention is like gold for a lot of women, including the sisters, black women especially. And this platform could get them bigger audience, subscribe to their IG page, their other social media page, even go as far as their OnlyFans, which a few of these women on here do have OnlyFans, but as you know, they only gave the names and links to a few of their social media that is for the public to view. A lot of them did this just to grow a bigger audience for themselves. Nothing more, nothing less. So I hope I answered that. Let's see. Black needs to nip that. The black woman should done. I think some of them knew who Nick Fuentes is. Some of them, I don't think all of them don't know. Because you think about the youngest one on there is 20 years old. And she's the one on the upper right corner next to the lady with the nice blue top. Melanie Vest. She's the youngest. Everybody else, the highest, the oldest is 33 years of age, which is three of them. One here in the green, the other one in the dark blue, the lovely one, and the other woman, I think she's Haitian. Is it the Haitian? Yeah, I think the Haitian one on the far left with the, I guess, one-piece top dress. Next to the lady with the headphones with the curly hair. All right, let me keep reading. So airtime, yeah. That's the disgusting. Yep. Nice blue top. Yeah. You know. All right, let's keep going. Y'all gonna make me laugh. Fair use, fair use.
And so but the point is, it's agricultural labor, and America's not built on cotton necessarily. It's built on buildings and railroads and things like that.
That the majority of African American people actually help facilitate and make.
But the point is that blacks picking cotton doesn't mean that they built America. Moreover, all of the wealth that they created in the South was.
Oh my God! You hear this bull crap? This bullshit? You hear this? Do y'all hear this? Wow. I don't know what to say. It baffles me. Yeah, you see that? I'm glad you noticed. This is BS. But it lets you know, Melanie Vessel, and anybody else that's watching this. This is why a lot of people had the conversation on this. Now I know another particular broadcaster is gonna do a stream on this maybe next day after this while I'm doing this stream. And he's gonna probably defend Nick Fuentes. Y'all might know who I'm talking about. Please don't write his name. He's gonna do a show on this particular scenario, and he's gonna double. I'm guaranteed he's gonna double down because let's be honest. Very well. He needs to be in proximity with whiteness. I'm not knocking him because let's be honest, that's where the action at, that's where the money's at. So why not put yourself in a position? So you're gonna double down, water down, and even go as hard as black folks while praising white folks. It is what it is. Don't hate the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Yeah. All right, let's keep listening. Well, Miss Melanie Vessel, I think these ladies that you see on the panel do go to a 4-year university. One woman in the blue, one with a nice top, she actually got a master's degree. She has a higher degree than the rest of the ladies that's on here. The rest of the ladies, only 1 or 2 might have a bachelor's degree. One of them are getting a bachelor's degree. One got an associate's degree, and she has the highest degree, the one on the top with the long hair, the blue top. She has a master's. So fair use.
Destroyed by the Civil War. Civil War destroyed the entire South. And by the end of it, there was almost nothing left. They were occupied by the North for a generation. So, the notion that blacks built America, whites built America.
So you're saying that, black people just had to sit down and do the dirty work.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they were brought here. They were told to do the work, and they did agricultural work. But to say, blacks built America, they were always a fraction of the population. They were never.
Well,
more
what
than
I said
10%.
is that America was built on the backs of slaves, is what I said. And then also the other part of that is shoot.
Well, going back to
we
the
said about the land
racism real quick, because you had said that you want black babies and everything else like that. And then he said he wants white babies. And then you said, well, back in the day, there's a part of systemic racism. That's what makes it racist. But my argument would be, if you look at someone like a Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, etc., they all pushed for, black families to stay together, support black businesses. How's that different from what he was saying? Because they were also around during the civil rights era.
No, I didn't say him wanting to date within his race is racist. I didn't equate that to systemic racism. I was talking about his verbiage. The fact that he called it matrixing, and the fact that it's blacks, and the fact that it's like, yeah, I like y'all, but I'm cool. Right. That's where the systemic racism comes from. That's also, and I'm okay with that. Like I want to have a black family. I don't mind that. Like, I'm okay with that. I would never date seriously outside of my race. I wouldn't.
But would it be fair to say that systemic racism can be played on both parts? Because on the black community, they also were saying, "Hey, back."
All right. Wait, hold on. Let me finish this question. Fair use.
Back then, same thing with the racist whites. There were also blacks that were racist back towards them. Like, hey, we're gonna keep black culture.
But black people being racist was that was a response.
Yeah.
That was the response that was met with racism. That was them standing up for themselves. That was them regaining their lives and their cultures and their identities. That's what they had to do.
But isn't racism, regardless of whether it's in retaliation or not?
Fair point.
I feel like
Touche.
this is an argument of like, what is the definition of racism? It's general disdain or hatred towards one racial
Okay.
group for no reason.
Right.
Or like wanting to date someone and
So,
have
so,
kids.
sorry, stop there. So if it's whatever you just said for no reason, right?
I'm gonna pause. Make sure you guys hit the like button and share the stream. And like always, subscribe to the Chaos Rain Show. The one thing this lady did not really be clear in her verbiage or her language or her dissertation with Nick is regards when Nick said that America was built with all Americans, and she reiterates said black people picked cotton and did other things that really built America. He kind of did not give any credence to it because you were not clear in your statement of building America. I think the way how she should have handled it, she said black people in general build America because America was built on the back of slavery. White people didn't come in here and then start building America. The first thing to do is they come and had other people do the work for them. But the majority of the work that was done, she should have said, was done by black Africans that became now allegedly African Americans. That would have been a better wording, a better answer to say towards Nick. And mind you, even tell Nick that Nick's gonna still deny it. He's still gonna, ish on it. But nonetheless, at least you're clear, and I mean clear, in your convictions and in your answer. So it's clear as day, so people have a understand what you're saying, what you get at. But I think she didn't really word it as said the way how I said that she should said it to Nick. Because when you say one thing, Nick's gonna always double down and even advocate and go as far as giving reasons why he is double down, because you're not clear in regards to how blacks build America. And we all know, he's playing this game with y'all, but you gotta play this game. You gotta play the game right with someone that's, let's be honest, very ignorant to the history. He's well read about Jewish history, allegedly, and I think he's not even well read in that because he's sitting there watching YouTube, watching audiobooks, or watching tape of other people that's telling what happened to them as it did not happen. And we can't be that naive. We cannot be that stupid. People that went through the so-called Holocaust did live, and they did tell their own story. It's a point that there's certain books that kind of back up that. Now, it might not be what they said what might have been, but they gave enough clear evidence what happened did happen. But him, like many stupid people that has a mic and a voice and not use it well, they'll run and say some dumb stuff, dumb stuff, if you know what I mean, to the whole public, and people gonna take it as gospel. The ones that's ignorant will take it as gospel. Everybody else, they're gonna look at you side eye and look at you. Maybe I go sit your 2 pennies down for people make change off your butt. Now let me read some of the comment section. Actually, let me read the chat. That's what he said. A loathing these dudes and everything they stand for. Yep. Blacks were responsible for the cotton gin. Blacks literally built the White House. Yeah. And she would not, and be honest with you, Melanie Vester, she's not really understanding of enough of the history in America. I'm not sure if she is really born here. And even if she was a first generation American or she's an extra ADOS, majority of Americans, including us, don't know the actual history. Matter of fact, my father, he bought a book on who built the White House, and I gotta find that book. I might do a little series on that to know. Yeah, I might do that. I'm gonna find it. But anyway, let's keep going. Wait, before I keep going, let me read this. Yeah, you're right. All right. Fair use.
We as Black people had a reason to be racist. We had a reason to be angry. People literally came and took us from our families and beat us and made us stay here and work. That is not the same.
I absolutely believe that Black people do have a reason to be angry. However, for moving the Black community forward, I feel as if there has to be some level of evolution where
See that word she used, people? You see what she said? You heard what she said? You heard what she said? She said, I feel. No, we don't go by feeling. Either you know or you don't know. We don't go by feelings. What's feelings? What's that? Anyway. All right, let's keep going. Fair use.
The current white people do not necessarily have to pay for the sins of their potential ancestors.
Okay,
So
there
why
has to be
do we-
accountability before you can
Right,
get to
there has to be
LS.
an
And
accountability.
white people don't want to have accountability.
At all.
They want to go,
Some.
oh, those were. But
We
we're talking
cannot
about
say all, though.
generalizations. We're talking about generalizations.
I don't know.
What does accountability look like, though?
Privilege.
Exactly. What does
You
accountability look
tell me,
like?
you tell me.
It looks like
Wow.
reparations.
It looks like privilege.
No way.
No, it looks like reparations. It looks like owning what your
Owning up.
ancestors
Yeah,
did.
absolutely.
It looks like not trying to whitewash history.
Okay.
It looks like
Erase it. Period.
I mean, or erase it, right?
Teaching
It looks like things like
history
that.
as it was.
So how would you do reparations? Would you tax all the white people and give it to all the black people?
No, I'm against that shit.
No, if we're talking about reparations, one of the first things I would do would find a way to fund education publicly that does not disadvantage low socioeconomic status households, because unfortunately right now a lot of Black and Hispanic people are living in low socioeconomic status, and when we have education that is funded by the neighborhood, you're putting people at a disadvantage.
We tried
Do
that already
and
with the Black Panthers, and what happened with them? They became public enemy number one.
Yeah,
FBI is number one because they weren't
Yeah.
pushing the Black family. They were pushing cultural within our culture, and our community,
It got
education,
dismantled.
food programs,
Infiltrated.
medical. Like
It got
when
infiltrated.
Black people become too powerful, we become a threat.
We become a threat.
I understand the sentiment, I really do, but I don't necessarily believe in like monetary. Every Black person just gets $10,000 right
No,
now.
me
Like
either.
that
I'm not
wouldn't
saying
help.
that.
But
Well, you're not gonna believe in monetary because you're a byproduct of interracialism. You're gonna side with your whiter side. Have you noticed, ladies, that when you're not a byproduct of mixing, or if you come with two Black parents, there's a certain mindset between women that have two Black parents and one that don't have two Black parents. It's a totally different mindset and thought and action. It's like night and day. I've noticed this. Have y'all noticed this? I'm starting to notice this. Because she's trying to talk it down. Because she's not really actually connected to a lot of Black people. But that's what I noticed. Well, let's keep listening. Fair use.
But if we found a way to really infiltrate our youth with the power of education, I feel like that would be a very great first
Step.
a very great first step. But that's not what's happening right now. And I feel like every political season, we all talk about who can use what bathroom. We talk about can a woman have the right to whatever, but we never talk about like public education.
Well, public education is quite on the forefront right now.
Is it? Okay.
Absolutely.
Maybe, okay.
What's the Supreme Court just did, and what's happening in Ron
But
DeSantis'
that's
state
not
of
K through
Florida?
12 though. I want to get into the K through 12 because that is what is setting the foundation.
But
for
you
these
live in
young
Florida,
students.
baby. You don't know what Ron DeSantis is doing down
That's
here.
at the college level and the graduate level.
No, I mean like the younger generations.
The what is it called? Race theory, critical.
Yeah.
Let me jump in here. Let me throw a little wrench into the conversation. Yeah, everybody's always talking about like education and stuff, and they say, well, the reason that the Blacks and Hispanics aren't performing so well is because.
Wait. Now this is the point I want to find. This is the important segment. Let me read your comments, and this is why I want y'all to pay attention closely. These women are not equipped for a conversation about this. Yeah, you're right. That's why they have them on there, Melon Vessel. Hell, some of them not even well read on the simple basics of world/American history. Much less they're gonna have a conversation with this dude, who is only really, to be honest with you, only thinking one-sided. He's not thinking of anything else. That's why, they pick these women very wise. But a lot of these women come on here because they need a clout. Let's keep it real. They ain't really come up here for any real dialogue. I'm just keeping a real chat. No real dialogue. All right. E sounds down. Yep. All other groups have received financial. Yeah, all groups. Every group. So now, this is the segment that I want to point out on the hour and 31 minutes of the stream. Now he's going to talk about why the affirmative action should be the way it is, and his views about education. Listen carefully, listen well. And I think a lot of people did not really cover this because they only covered the part when he used the N-word. But I go beyond the N-word. I go look at the whole entire broadcast through its context. Because context is key. It's everything. And if we're not going for the context of this whole stream, we're going to miss the greater point of, not only why they brought him on this podcast, but these same groups of men that are not even born in America, let's keep real. Myron and Fresh are not ADOS. Hell, they're not even, I don't think both of them not even first generation Americans. They could be from I think Fresh is born from a different country. I think Myron might be a first generation American. I say he might be because personally, I think where is he from again? His parents from Sudan, but I think he was born and raised. He might be born and raised in Hartford, Connecticut. Could be wrong. No, I'm right. He is born and raised in Connecticut, but I'm not sure if he's born in Connecticut. It's a difference. But anyway, let's keep going. Fair use.
The schools aren't funded. The schools aren't good.
There's not one reason, I don't think.
I think there is. And the reason is that when you look at IQ tests, blacks score one full standard deviation lower than whites on average on IQ tests.
But we're not even getting the same education.
But what is your
we're not even getting the same.
But IQ doesn't have anything to do with education. IQ is innate.
Do you think that it is like, are you talking about like a nature versus nurture argument here?
Yeah, I'm saying it's genetic.
So you believe that black people are inherently dumber?
I'm saying on average, blacks
the fact that we are
standard deviation lower IQ.
So you think
you see that weird shit? I swear, listen, this is why I tell black people many times. You can't have these conversations when you hear dumb people say it's because of the IQ test. This is where the standard of intelligence rank. And we all know people have their own form of intelligence since the beginning of time. And also it's only reserved and watered down to a simple paper and pen type of test. Imagine that. One moment, guys. Stay right there. Hit the like button, share button. We'll take a quick moment intermission. 1 second. All right, we can continue on. Let's listen more to this bullish. And I call it bullish for a reason because, like I said, when you deal with actual racist, his mind is one-sided. His actions are one-sided. He does not think or sway differently. What he believes in, he takes as gospel. He takes as the truth. So whatever, in regards to what they call racial purity and racial hierarchies, even to the point where it says racial understanding and racial superiority, he's always going to view you as, dumb. And it's beyond IQ tests. In the mind of a Nick Fuentes, he views a good portion of blacks. And really, that's the subject of the stream. And I never really reiterate what the subject. Does Nick Fuentes love to degrade blacks? That's the question that's on the title. I'm hoping you guys give me an answer. All right, let's continue. Fair use.
It has nothing to do with the way that we
and being
don't have the
redlined
K-12
and being
education
put
or
in
maybe our
stressful
homes,
situations.
but
You know,
here's
that
why.
has
But here's why.
But you don't think that us being
that's
put
a
in
wild argument.
put in
It happens to be true,
what they
though.
call ghetto. And do you understand? Do you understand what it is to live a black life? No, you don't, right?
white.
Okay, right. So exactly.
Italian.
So no.
But I like black
But listen, I didn't say that has nothing to do with you liking me or disliking me,
like
love.
someone that you think
But
is inherently
when I'm put into when I'm redlined, when I can't go into certain communities, when my community doesn't have what your community has, and I have to go to your community to get what I need. I don't even have what I need in my community. What do you think that is? Like what are the response? These are our responses to the conditions. Do you understand that?
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up.
Ladies, let him respond to her situation, and then we can go ahead and let you guys chip in. And then we'll probably have to go Rumble sooner than I thought.
Yeah.
But this is amazing. Sorry, go ahead, Nick.
So here's the thing. What you're talking about when you say that, blacks don't have access to resources, that's of course because these neighborhoods are impoverished. They already don't have wealth. They already have these problems. I would throw something else into the mix and say, let's look at something like a food desert. That's a big complaint, is that they're not able to access fresh food in these neighborhoods. Well, Walmart just left Chicago. I'm from the suburbs of Chicago. Walmart just pulled out. Why did Walmart pull out? Is it because of redlining and white racism? Or did Walmart pull out because people kept stealing? They pulled out because people kept stealing.
All right. All right, they're ready. Let me pause. The reason why Walmart is no longer in Chicago, besides the stealing, let's be honest. Location is key. Key for any established business, including Walmart. Where's Walmart located again? Oh, it's located in a city that has high turnout rates, including turnout rates of people stealing crap. Because let's be honest, under capitalism, there's only going to have the have-nots. And someone's going to take from you and keep all by stealing from you. So what the people in Chicago does is they operate under the law of capitalist nature, and that they're going to just take your stuff and you're not going to pay any or get any revenue for it. They're going to get what they can for free. It is what it is. So I'm not sure why he brings Walmart into the conversation, but that's another story. Anyway, let's keep going. Fair use.
The argument is a non sequitur, though.
Why is it non sequitur?
It's a non sequitur because
Y'all still
talking about
most.
food deserts and trying to equate that to why you inherently believe that Black and Hispanic people are genetically and inherently less intelligent. It's a non sequitur to talk about why Walmart is no longer in Chicago.
Here's the correlation
on that too. Go ahead.
Okay, well, here's the point: is that whenever there's a conversation about because fundamentally the conversation's about the disparity between blacks and whites, which is persistent in wealth, unemployment, income, all these things. And really there's two explanations. And one is circumstance, historical disadvantage, these kinds of things, which you might call nurture, so-called. For lack of a better word. The other argument is that blacks and whites are different, and they're genetically different. And these behaviors that they exhibit are the result of genetics. And so if Black people have an average IQ of 85 in America compared to whites of 100, it doesn't mean that there are no Black people with an IQ over 100, obviously. But it does mean that on average, there are fewer of them. And if that's the case, this has real world implications. There's going to be a reason why the Black schools perform worse than the white schools. And it's got nothing to do with the school, the funding, the public policy, and it's got everything to do with their innate faculties in the beginning.
Hold on, wait.
See that? Right there, that didn't make no sense. It's very illogic. Now, mind y'all, ladies and gentlemen, there are going to be some black folks that's going to agree with Nick Fuentes. I'm not talking about the liberal side of things, but there are going to be some black men that will agree on the IQ tests like idiots, and I don't go by it because I understand the history of why they create the IQ tests. You know, but like I said, if you don't understand the history of why things are here in existence, you're just going to walk into that fire and get your body burned and don't know why I'm in the fire. From his logic, he said that the IQ test is one of the factors why they refuse to educate all Americans, including black folks, because in their mind, they're never going to get, they're not going to ever get the material or learn anything. But it makes me wonder if black people are so dumb as he claims that is, right? That there are some that will have a higher score and some will have a low score. And not saying that if you want to take the test, that's fine. But I'm telling you now, you got to look beyond these tests that they create, these racist tests, to really determine how intelligent you are. You got to look at that as a person, as of an insult. Personally. But that's another story. You got to understand this. From his own logic, because you have low IQs, that's the reason why Dave, in his mind, you shouldn't have no funding in schools. Because they feel that you're going to malperform anyway. Oh, really? Is that true? If that was so the case, and I want someone to give me an answer to this, why is it that your race is in, let's say, where the area of black folks, why are there a lot of white females in these school systems? Wouldn't it make sense that since these blacks are stupid and dumb, and a lot of them not going to get it and learn anything, wouldn't it make more sense that you invest your time and energy in your own communities and teach your own children? And leave the black people alone to fend for themselves since the IQ is so slow? Can somebody answer my question and give me answers to that? Why you don't go over there and let the blacks fall on their sword? Is it because back in the 1800s and even up to the mid 60s, or even go as far as the 50s, when black people had the force to educate their own children, they got more out of their children, more than ever? Even go as far as Brown versus Board, where slowly schools are slowly integrating. And then we look at roughly 20 years later in the 70s, where they create what we call learning disability or special ed. They did not create these programs in regards to better people. They create these programs to even further stifle the progression and the intellect of a lot of black children that will become the black adults today, especially the black boys. And I know that's hard for y'all to believe this. Y'all might not agree with this. I don't give a crap. I'm telling you what it is. Because we're not getting it. For this little fucker up here to really say what he said, just to make himself feel a little bigger or smarter, he looks dumb. Even that notion that we said is nonsense. Didn't make no sense. Most other countries with little resource that are whitish and black mixture, and even go as far as depending on what country you are, could easily get a better thorough education if they were taught not only with their own, but taught with the right materials. Meaning some books would be good, material, pencils, computers, the necessary tools to help fuel the progression of what we call education today. But I'm not gonna keep ranting because I'll be long. So let's keep going. Farious.
your
Finish his
claims.
point.
Please.
Total
Yeah,
for-
total.
for you.
Because I need to
Because
hear
I
it.
want to
actually
go.
like
I want
to
to go
see
in
these
them.
studies
And
because
mix.
as a Black woman who is in education, this is something that is very important to me. And I mean, we can talk all day long about the nature versus nurture debate. I do believe a lot of the struggles that the Black community is facing right now has to deal with nature. Nurture over nature. If we had the same resources like the K through 12 education and the strong family unit, I don't see why there is any genetic, like we have coded the human genome. I feel like if there was any genetic implication as to why Blacks and Hispanics are performing less, maybe the scientists who coded the human genome would have come out with that information already, but I don't think that they have.
Well, the brain accounts for 50% of the human
Excuse me,
genome.
baby.
And when you look at, Black people and white people, they have all kinds of different characteristics.
And what the lady said, the mixed woman was right. They did not confirm this, and they're never going to confirm this because they know to keep their racist bullcrap going, they got to keep telling you, Black folks, boys and girls, men and women, that you are undoubtedly inferior. You are dumb. It's a war tactic. It is the best war tactic to let you know you are dumb. For a reason. Keep that in mind. That's why when they did their own study of genetics on stuff, they cannot really confirm the intelligence of people by their genomes like that. But like I said, I digress. Let's keep listening. Fair use.
Different skin color, different gestation period, all kinds of different
Gestation
things.
period. By how many days?
I don't know the exact number of days, but
That's-
if you look at it,
Okay.
it tracks. Asians have, I think it's the
Okay.
highest, and then it's whites, Hispanics, and then Blacks.
But
But
everything
again, how
comes
is
from
that?
Black.
How is that following the argument
here's
that we're
the
having
argument.
here? Okay.
So if we agree that there are already differences that we can see, if there's physical differences, then it would follow if the brain is 50% of the human genome, it would be ridiculous to suggest that whites and Blacks and Hispanics and Asians all have the same brains.
Intelligence isn't necessarily phenotypic, though.
100% is. What is intelligence? There's a stronger correlation that intelligence is genetic than so many other things. It's a heritable trait. That's not even disputed.
So let's stop there because
Wait,
if we
wait,
keep
wait,
talking
wait,
about
wait,
how
wait,
education
wait,
is
wait, wait,
more
wait.
no because if we're talking about how education is more genetic, meaning passed down some kind of way, that's in with African Americans being lower than whites, it's only because we were not given education for so long.
That's not true, though.
Right.
That is very true.
It's not because when y'all got us
No,
from
it was- it
Africa,
is true. We
you
couldn't-
got us. You got the greats. You got the scientists. You got the alchemists. You got all the greats. What y'all thought was great. What y'all thought were what.
Right.
And when I say y'all, I mean your ancestors. You feel me? So what y'all thought was great. Y'all scooped us up. Y'all got the greats,
Yeah,
right?
he
And then y'all
picked them
shipped us
Exactly.
right. And so it's genetic. Everything you got is from us. White come from Black.
Right.
If you
Melanin.
don't know, I'm just saying y'all just like something that God created because he has a sense of humor. So
But see, that's the most hateful statement that's been said so far.
and it's okay. It's okay if you feel that way. But when you know yourself and you know your history, we can have this conversation all day. And like I said, I agree with you. I think interracial was the worst thing that we could have ever done.
That's insane.
It
I
messed
cannot
us
agree
up.
with
I
that.
do. I say
It
that all
messed
the
us
time.
up. It messed us up.
The world went to
It messed
shit
us up.
agree.
It messed us
when
up. And it's
segregation
okay.
ended.
It's
No.
okay.
I don't
We
care what
are
nobody
all
got to
children
say.
of God, and I
so you
disagree
think
with
it's the
that
worst thing?
vehemently.
You agree with her?
I agree with her completely.
Okay, and then
disagree
you
with that.
disagree.
We are
I
all
disagree.
children of God. That is
Correct.
insane. That's an
Yes.
insane thing to say that we should all be separated. Like,
Yes.
what was segregation?
Wow.
What was
Like, what? Come on.
Something that was brought to us. You
Brought
get what
to us,
Right.
but that
No.
doesn't
But look
mean
how
we
look
have
how
to
look how
adapt
strong our
to
community was when
segregation.
things
Our
were
innate nature
segregated.
isn't our innate
Like now
nature.
we do not
Our
have
innate
to
nature is
adapt to
war.
segregation.
Our innate nature.
Whoa.
Our innate
Whoa, whoa,
nature.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
I'm
whoa,
sorry.
Let her finish her point. You made your statement that you.
Yeah, like I said, guys. Like I said, the man doesn't know what he's really. Well, actually, he knows what he's talking about. But you see, he's on a panel with a bunch of women that they have the I guess, the capacity to argue their points, but really truly they don't. I mean, it's obvious because look how they're not really laying out their claims to combat what this guy is saying. And he says a lot of dumb stuff, personally. And I'm waiting for him to really give him that combatant tone, you know. I'm just checking some right now, guys. All right. Well, anyway, let's keep going, guys. Fair use, fair use.
Getting interracial was the worst thing. She agreed. Let her make her point why she.
Well, we know why she didn't get.
I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, but I want her to be able to. Yeah, she has her guy. But why? So you said we're all children of God, and finish your thing, and then I'll.
Well, I didn't finish mine, so I want to go next.
I mean, even in the Bible, it calls us to look at one another as brother and sisters. I don't think that the Lord would have wanted for there to be such division amongst races, or to be like ridiculing, or to think higher of one race or lower of one race in metrics of intelligence, or I know you didn't say this, but worth, or like deserving of kindness and love and so on and so forth. I just can't agree with that.
I don't think that because people wanted, I mean, mind you, white people were just like mean and racist rights. That is a given fact.
No,
However, just because I believe that people should stay within their own cultures, that's not necessarily a negative thing. Look how strong the African American community was when we were separates. Look how far the Black dollar was when we were separates. Now what we're doing is we're fighting against people like you and like Nick here, my buddy, because we want a seat at the table. But
no,
when we didn't have to do that,
I would never be in competition with a black person.
However,
I have to tell you that whenever a black student comes to me and they want me specifically to mentor them in a education sense, like I will take them under my wing, and I do that for Black and Hispanic people more than I do that for white people, because
and you showing the favor. Why?
Because I want to see our community strengthened, but I would never impose my viewpoints on dating, saying, oh hey, I'm going to help you with this MCAT equation, but also when you're like successful, make sure you only date within your race. I would never
do that.
I wouldn't do that.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Because the other girls here have been kind of silent.
Yeah.
Okay, how many of you agree with race mixing? I know she does. One, well, yeah, obviously do. I was going to ask you guys. You guys have white parents?
Yeah, I was like, my mom is white, so there's no way I couldn't.
Mom is white, dad is black.
We
wouldn't be here without.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I was like, no, maybe
that's fine. That's fine. So you guys agree with race mixing? You do too, or you mix as well?
Yes, I am Haitian. I'm also Dominican and Venezuelan.
Okay, you can make the argument that the Dominicans are African Americans, so Afro
But
Americans,
Venezuelans are
or
not.
black. Excuse me. What about you? What do you think?
I'm American, but I think.
Do you believe in race mixing, like a white dude getting a black chick, or vice versa? You do?
I
You agree with
believe
it?
in that.
Okay,
He's my
so
best
you two
friend.
think, hey, keep it in the.
I mean, it's just not. I mean,
okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. I just want to kind of get an idea. So all the
I'm
girls
not saying
here.
that it's a negative thing, though.
No,
I'm definitely not saying that it's a negative thing.
Yeah.
I just have my preference, and I believe in letting people have their preference and exercising that.
I agree with that 100%.
Right.
I agree with that.
Okay, so it looks to me like all of you are for race mixing. Then you just only two of you don't practice it.
Right. Do what you want to do. That's
Wait,
your business.
Do you date white guys? White guys outside of the black race?
No, you don't.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
facts.
I can't say
Yeah,
yes
she don't.
because it's a type thing. I feel.
What about you? Do you date outside of your race? No.
I dated white guys, though. I will say that.
Yeah, I have too, but it's
for
just a
money,
type
Kat.
thing.
Of course, definitely for money.
Do you date outside of your race? I mean, black people.
I have in the past, but I
Damn, the black woman right there, she says she'll date a Caucasoid, but only for money. So you know how it's white people got that, or the white male got those bags. So she said, I need your bag, honey. Drop that bag. Yeah. Good luck. All right, there's my Rumble link for those that y'all should follow me on Rumble. For those to watch, please follow me on Rumble. Okay. It's a very important question to ask it. Will one of them date? I think one with the red dreads has one that with the blue hair. I'm sorry, with the black. One with the blue top, black hair has dated them, And obviously, if you date them, you're also getting screwed by them too. Because they're not gonna be just happy to just give you money and that's it. That's not how things work. So don't play around. Stop the cap. And this one right here that's talking right now on the left, she said she has as well. But let's listen more. Fair use.
I don't anymore.
Your preference is black? Okay.
Yeah.
So what about you? Do you date outside of your race?
Yes, I do.
You do. Okay. So realistically speaking, all of you are for race mixing, but only 2 of you date outside of your race, it seems to me. Okay. All right. Just you got the numbers here.
Yeah, well, it seems like sort of a
just so you kind of know. Yeah, just so you know. Yeah, just so you know.
A liberal attitude, like politically liberal.
No, liberal like open, more
Okay,
like
okay.
liberal minded. But to get to your point, because I think it's an important distinction. You know, you said that God would want to see us as unequal in terms of IQ or worth, but that is the distinction, because we can say that people are unequal qualitatively without saying that they're unequal before God, which is my position. Because, and we talked about this on the earlier show, when you look at individuals, no 2 individuals are equal. You know, if I stand next to Myron, he's taller than me.
Yeah.
You know, and if I stand next to somebody else, we're going to be unequal. And I think groups are unequal too. I think that inequality is just a state of nature. I don't think you find equality in nature. The important thing is, though, and it's like you said, we have to love each other. The equality we bring to the table is that everyone has a soul. Everybody is equal before God. And I agree with you. People should be treated with care and kindness and that sort of thing. But that being said, and this is why it's important to be specific. When I look at other people, I think it's important to treat them with dignity, respect, love, that sort of thing.
I agree.
At the same time, that's totally different from saying, like, the government is racist or the government shouldn't be racist or things like this. Here's what I mean. The government has to take into account that people are different.
Yeah.
You know, so for example, like when we have this mass immigration into the United States, the people that are coming here are different from the people that are here. You know, they have a different ancestry, different culture, different background. They speak a different language. To look at those people and say, well, you know, we got to treat these people exactly the same in the spirit of equality. Well, they're not equal. They're not the same.
But why not?
But they are.
Yeah, but you forgot. And this is something that's not being discussed. America imports more immigrants because they had to keep replacement and add numbers to this country. And even go as far as what we hear rumor now, certain governors in certain states are trying to make it a little harder for people that's immigrants that want to come to America a little bit harder because of the job situation. From what I'm hearing. Yeah. And there are other factors why they really want to cut back on the immigration piece. You know, because, you know, let's be honest, America has foreign aid that they give money to other nations so they're able to get in return, you know, bodies, you know, people for labor and some other means. So when they talk about these people that come to this country, they got nothing. Oh, you got some because you're going to be producing and be part of the United States social order. You're going to bring something to the table. Let's keep that real. You're bringing something to the table. So don't be fooled, people. Do not be fooled. All right. Let me see. All right. Fair use.
I
But why
necessarily
not,
made
though?
the argument of equality. I don't know if I said that because I have my own views about equality. I think that equity is much more efficient for society, for even relationships and families. But I think what I'm getting tripped up with and the sticking point that I'm having with your arguments is when you're saying like one specific race is inherently lower intelligence, that opens the door for
On average,
so
though.
many.
On
that-
average.
And
Well, but
you
they're
believe
stratified.
but you believe it's like a genetic component that opens the door for so many people who maybe are not a part of that racial group to disrespect the racial group that you believe is genetically lower intelligence.
It's a sensitive subject.
And I really do believe in the goodness of you as a person, just the way that you carry yourself and the way that you speak. But I'm assuming you're probably a guy that is like very polarizing and has millions of followers and viewers. There's probably at least a handful of people, or like a percentage worth of a handful of people who take what you are saying and use it in a very, very, very ugly way.
Yeah, you're right about that. And, you know, I'm bombastic about it. But in truth, it's not just about putting Black people down. And I talk about that a lot because I don't think that Black people should be put down. In fact, I think that a lot of their grievances are legitimate. The problem is, though, what you find is it gets mixed up with rhetoric like what you said, where you said God made white people to laugh as a joke. Like, and I'm not trying to put you down for saying that, but I mean, all I'm trying to say is the same could be said really about any kind of statement. Like, we can listen to grievances, historical or otherwise, that people have. By the same token, people could take an historical grievance and say, well, we have a right to be racist against white people because it's a bad joke that God made them. In the same way that, you know, you could take something like I said and twist it. As far as the IQ goes, though, it's stratified. Asians have the highest, then whites, Hispanics, blacks in terms of average. The only reason I say that is if we want to help everybody, we have to kind of meet them where they are.
Yeah.
And it's like, if that's the problem, then throwing more money at it's not going to fix it.
Exactly. And I agree with that.
Okay, so
it said, so from his rhetoric, he said that meet them where they're at, and he's think in his logic, throwing money won't solve the problem. I have to disagree, because where are you spending the money? Should be the question. Besides throwing money, has anybody looked what is the natural budget America spends yearly? Because if we understand where the money is being placed, that will be a start to know there is a problem. But we can't get to that conversation because we don't know where the money is being thrown around. So I'm not gonna pull up that because that's not important right now, the money aspect. So I'm just looking at some right now, guys. All right, so let's continue. And always fair use.
Since we're on it, okay,
real quick.
I want to hear from Glow, though.
What are your thoughts on it? Because you didn't talk at all on your thoughts as well. So you right here.
On what?
For example, he just said on the scale, black people are lower IQ. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I just don't agree with a lot of what he's saying. He said some stuff earlier about how apparently everybody's brains are different, which I don't know how that's scientifically possible that a black person's brain is different than a white person's. I don't know.
I think he was hypothetically speaking.
No, he was serious.
No, he's like
Nick, you want to
explain that was a fact.
Well, I mean that, you know, there's this idea we talk about race and we say, skin color doesn't matter. I don't think that race is just skin color. I think that what we call it is human biodiversity, meaning there's biological diversity within the human population. So, you know, white and black and Hispanic and Asian people are distinct categories of people.
Minority.
Well, people. Because minority is, I mean, in America, whites are going to be in the minority in a decade. You know?
Not if you have anything to say about it.
You're right. You're right about that.
I'm trying to make light. This is an intense conversation. I'm trying to bring light.
Well, hold on. So did that answer your question? No, so she wanted to know where how the brains are different based on race. That's
so
what
here's
the
thing: I'm just trying to see where you got all this information, because that just doesn't make sense.
Our nature is warm. We are good people.
Well, ladies, do you know what he? Do you guys know what he specifically said?
Yeah.
Do you remember what he specifically said?
Yeah, he said that black people, white people, Asians, whatever, they all got different brains.
Whatever,
how do we have different brains?
No. What he said is that, well, I mean, that's a component of it, but what the real bottom line is that he's saying that each race has different IQ level averages.
Right, but they don't have a problem. They don't have a problem with that, Myron. They don't have a problem with that. They have a problem with the fact that he thinks that black people's brains are different than a white person's brain. They understand the hierarchy, and I understand that too. I understand how
it's genetically different.
But to sit here and say, "Oh, I know a black brain is different than a white brain,"
how?
I mean, one's darker.
Because y'all experimented on us. Because y'all experimented on us.
Here's what I mean by that.
Yeah, let him please let him explain. Go ahead, Nick, because I don't want to. I think I know what you mean, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. Go ahead.
So we have different skin colors. That's
now for those that's not paying attention. Like most of the people that's on this panel, and if y'all notice, the co-host that runs this channel, have you noticed they did not give Nick 1 ounce of pushback? Have y'all noticed that? I'm not sure if I'm the only one that noticed this or y'all noticed it. Oh, I did put the call link for those who want to come up and give their take on this. It's in the chat room. Have y'all noticed this? And it makes me wonder because they, and mind you, Myron used to work for the feds, so he has to his investigation / his research on anybody that comes on his platform. Y'all aware of this, right? So when people think that these cats are either ignorant or dumb to bring him on, no, they know what exactly they do in bringing him on. You know, and I'm not gonna go back rehash why they brought him on. So anyway, let's keep going. Let's hear his response. Fair use, fair use.
The genetic difference.
Okay.
And black people look different than white people, not even just their skin color. Like if a black person turned white all of a sudden, like you could still,
like my lips will go away.
Vitiligo.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I could distinguish that you look black. Like your face looks black. My face looks
I look
white.
like royalty, baby. Let's go.
Sure. And I think that's so sensitive.
Let's let him finish his point so that she can understand where he's going with the brain thing.
So the point is like, people say race is just, we're all the same, but just in different colors. And I'm saying that we're different in other ways too. We're genetically different in other ways. Our bone structure is different. Our faces are different. Our skin color is different. And then the point is to say, when we talk about IQ, people say, well, how could black people or white people or Asian people have a different average IQ? Well, their brains are probably genetically different, just like their skin color, just like their bones, just like other things. And so it's to say it would be ridiculous to suggest that every person in the world would have the same average IQ. Why would that make sense?
Okay. Right.
We're
but
not talking about IQ. We're talking about
this is all his
brain.
This is his opinion though.
Because
keyword was probably.
Yeah.
There was no factual in that.
Did that answer the question or no?
No, because he's like, our
Going
bones are
around
different.
the question.
How?
I'm
He's
really
saying
not.
IQ.
When you
I'm not
see a
talking about
skeleton,
IQ.
it's
I'm
just
talking
like-
about the physical brain
Well,
that we all have and we're born with.
He did mention that we're all differently made. So for
I
example, he's
understand
just
that,
saying
but
that
like that doesn't mean our brains are different. Like IQ wise, that's like shit you learn throughout life. Like you know what I mean?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
So you're just like
there's
born
a
with a low
disagreement here,
IQ?
right?
Is that what you're saying?
Where-
No.
He told you the answer, but I guess you're not like taking it for what it is.
Okay.
But real quick, thoughts on this real quick. You didn't say anything either.
I'm smart, so.
What? Hold on. So you get it, right?
You good.
So you get it? Okay, cool.
Can I
I think
this though?
okay. Let me distill what he was saying. Okay. I think what he said is very simple. He said, based on race, people have different features, different looks, different skin tones, hell, even different muscle fibers. African Americans, we know, have more fast twitch muscle fibers, which is why it's easier for them to build muscle mass than other races, etc. Right? Height levels, whatever. So what he's saying is that on the physiology side, we're all different.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times races have a lot of similarities. Then he went on to say, well, we also have different IQs. Since we have different IQs, it would make sense, and the logical conclusion would be our brains are different as well.
Right.
Because if we're different
I understand
physically,
that.
Because
right,
we learn differently.
and a component of your brain is obviously your IQ,
Yeah.
then we probably have different brains as well. Because on average, right, the races have different IQs. We know Asians are at the top, whites are in the middle, and then blacks are on the lower end typically. But he's saying if our IQs are lower, that by definition means that our brains are different as well. So that's, I think, the logical conclusion he came to.
Right,
And
but
to
again,
Nick's
that's just
point-
not.
As y'all know, hold on, guys. All right. As I was saying before, and I gotta say this again, that Myra is, I guess, in agreement to what's his name, Nick Fuentes, about the twitching of muscles, and each race got different size, brain, all this nonsense, right? But it still doesn't really lead to the fact, say, what this has to do with the intelligence. So we got different muscle mass, different fibers. So because we have different muscle mass and fibers, we are considered dumb because we're able to move in agility, speed, etc. But our brains get affected. That is some dumb stuff. Now I'm not sure if that's what they're trying to reiterate, but that's what I'm getting at. Now I'm just being a prick being about this, but that didn't make no sense. Let's continue. Fair use.
Factual. He said it with so much conviction, and that's the problem with people like him. They say things that are opinionated that isn't necessarily factual, and say it with so much conviction that logically it follows, but there's no science that backs that up.
People like me.
Yeah.
Oh.
What is that
With
supposed to
opinions
mean?
like you.
White people?
Asians are trained differently. They're trained to.
Nick, did you have anything to respond? Did that make sense when I distilled that?
Yeah, no, that's exactly
right.
right.
You understand what I mean now?
She got it.
If the physiology is the same, that means and IQs are different. That means the brains are probably different too. That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah,
I agree with
but
what
to
you just
Nick's
said.
point, he
Exactly.
did also say that before God we are equal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And which that is fact.
Okay, go ahead.
So I think it's very important for people to understand, especially, and I'm not saying this in a classist way. I understand education is privilege, but if you don't have the education of knowing how to interpret research correctly, you're going to be very hindered with the way that you think about life. We have to understand that correlation does not always equal causation. So humans like to think very linearly. Oh, racial groups have different stratifications of standardized test scores, for example, which means this is wrong, but races must inherently genetically be different in intelligence. That is an incorrect statement. Correlation does not equal causation. The reasons are oftentimes multifaceted: opportunity, resources, childhood, family life, home life, so on and so forth. I have never heard any type of research that shows there's a genetic difference between the races and their intelligence. I wouldn't even know how to physically measure, like, is it the neuronal connections? Is it the glucose utilization in the brain that is making the IQ higher? I don't know what that would be. I've never read those studies.
Yeah, we don't even got to go there because there's no way that we can even prove that as a fact sitting at this table. That's like a losing argument right there. We can keep going.
Okay, wait. Do I see? Is that you, Sexy Red TV? Welcome to the Chaos Race Show. Welcome. How you doing? Hope everything's well. Yeah, man. Yeah, some ladies are getting pushed back. But let's keep going. Fair use.
No, because
no, we can't because you're not a scientist, Bill.
We can't because look,
the science guy.
The literature on this is not disputed at all. I mean, if you look at
there's literature on this.
There is.
Okay.
Can you state the
because they're trying to say that there's no literature.
Yeah, I literally just said that it's not fact.
I feel like it's scientifically proven.
Like it's not.
Ladies, please let them speak.
It's not. I mean, you can do your own research on this, but it's not a controversial thing at all that blacks, whites, Asians, Hispanics stratify along those lines in IQ tests.
That's not
that's not what we're debating right now.
Well, you did. You said
no,
you have no science to back up your
No, I'm saying you don't have any science to back up the brain aspect of it, baby. I agree. I agree with what you said. I agree.
Actually, she's not missing the point because you don't have the actual real science that backs up your theory that your brain size and all this nonsense determine how your intelligence is, IQ, etc. But my biggest issue with all this, and I know Sex Red's in the building and a few other women that are content creators on here. I'm not sure what content y'all do in regards to this backlash, but there has to be some backlash to this in good faith. As a man, I'm covering this and I'm going to say some things about the ladies I did not like at all in this. And the reason why, and let's be honest, I got to move beyond now Miss Pearly Finks and Nick at this point now. Because these two people are the pinnacles of attention that black people today should not even invest too much time in. Because these so-called Caucasoids come here like parasites and they are here to take as much as possible. That means your attention and energy. And once they get all that, they go back to their business and they go back to other platforms to move on to bigger and better things. Now, don't get me wrong. We give them shine and attention because this so-called helps us overall with the content. But overall, this is not something that in the long term of things to keep investing in because there's a game being played here. And this is a game right now we're losing right now. Because, as y'all know, Fresh and Fit, I'm going to say this again, are not Americans. They're not, never have, never will. They'll come in here to make as much money as possible. Hell, Myra said it from his own mouth, if I'm right. Because I can't recall every content he does on Fresh and Fit. He's here to make as much money as possible. He's going to engage in fornication with a lot of women here in America, particularly black women, all groups of women. And once he's done, he's going to probably be in his late 40s, hell, maybe 50s, maybe. Because he's now probably 33 now. He's going to go marry a very young Sudanese woman of his own culture that's going to be probably 20 years old at best. But he'll come to America to do his degeneracy and take the money and the attention and laugh at a lot of people's face. That's why, for those that's not familiar with these cats, when he did that video with the Ku Klux Klan thing over his head, like it's all key and funny, he looks dumb. To other groups of men, race of men, they look at him and they are amused and happy and laugh in his face. And behind closed doors, call him a monkey in his face. No, he calls black people monkeys, but these other groups of people, other groups of non-black men are calling him monkey behind closed doors, personally. And this is the honest truth. All right, let's keep going. Fair use, fair use. And if everybody want to come up, that's the decision. The link's in the chat room.
Agree with the I know Asians, black. I understand how that falls. I promise I do.
Okay.
But there is no facts behind my brain being different because I'm black and yours is different because you're white. But, that's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, you're missing the point. The point was to say that IQ as a function of brain. That was the point. So you're sort of missing the point.
Can we be saying the fact that there's different tiers of IQs based on race must mean that the brains are different based on race as well?
That's an incorrect.
It's actually the questions, not the brain. Because every culture responds differently to IQ tests. And from what I'm hearing, the question that's structured on IQ is really based on mostly the people that's the majority in America, personally. The questions are designed and structured for them to understand, but not your ass to understand. When you look at the terms of picking up a cup, how you drink a cup, I'm using it as an example, it's different how black people view of picking up a cup and drinking a cup. And that's just one scenario if they would ask on an IQ test. But anyhow, fair use, fair use.
But that's what I'm saying. That's something that you cannot prove. Like, I understand. I completely understand.
So y'all don't agree with that conclusion?
These are all opinions.
So we can agree to disagree on this topic.
Yes.
All right. Yes.
Did anyone else have anything before?
No.
Oh, I want to share something. Okay,
All right.
this is inspirational. Okay, you guys, K through 12, I was like a completely deficient student, C's, B's, like not very good at all, didn't believe in myself.
Yeah.
Got into college, did really, really, really well, and now I attend a top 50 medical school. So this is why I'm like very passionate about not believing that it's just completely nature, because I do believe, that it's not completely nature and that it can also be nurture, because my environment changed when I got into college and now I'm falling out.
And I'll take you back off that, because since I'm on a quest to go to law school, something about the LSAT is that the way it's written, it's literally written
racist.
No, not racist, but it's actually inclusive, because it's written to a standard that no matter socioeconomics, background, anything, if you study the correct way, you could be a bum living under a bridge and you can still score high enough, because the verbiage, the types of questions, it's literally about things that you can learn. It's not about anything else that like life experiences. None of that matters.
School isn't even about life experiences.
So ladies, you guys are all familiar with the fact that, you know, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't want to work hard?
Yes.
So I understand where you're coming from, that, hey, I beat the odds, etc. But you got to also remember that being a hard worker doesn't necessarily mean that you have IQ, and it goes the other way around, because there's a lot of people that have high IQ that are lazy as fuck and don't make it in life either. So I've always said that there's a lot of people that are book smart that do well in school, but they're still morons. I mean, we brought them on the show plenty of times. Like girls that have high level degrees and they're still idiots. So I would say education And schooling and being a good student doesn't necessarily mean you are intelligent.
It's just your drive.
Correct. We
It's your
should all
drive.
take a. You
Yeah.
should do one time like everyone takes an IQ test and then like comes on.
That'd be funny.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
just
Go
out to your point as well.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, your choice of wanting to learn and become better means who you are today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even though we might have, for example, like issues of schooling, environment, and these other external issues, if you're a person that wants to do better for yourself, black, white, Asian, doesn't
not
matter,
happy.
Chinese. Once again, it's all on you as an individual to do
Yeah.
better for yourself.
And
Correct.
I would
I
argue
agree.
that it is nurture far more than it is nature. And I
Okay.
believe that Nick is arguing that it is nature far more than it is nature.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
and it's part of a bigger point of view, which is that I think that genetics play a much greater role than people would like to believe. I think that so much of our behaviors are genetic. I think that so many of our
Another thing, for those ladies that's not aware, let me see if I can wind it back with the lady on the this lady on the right. You see this one with the green shirt with the red braids? Word on the street is she did I'm not sure, the TikTok live or IG live, and she is doubling down as we speak on that Fresh and Fit podcast because the backlash she got on her social media, TikTok, IG, etc., of her hugging and kissing unknown racists. Imagine that. Imagine that. God help us all, man. Fair use.
that, hey, I beat the odds, etc. But you got to also remember that being a hard worker doesn't necessarily mean that you have IQ, and it goes the other way around, because there's a lot of people that have high IQ that are lazy as fuck and don't make it in life either.
Right.
So I've always said that there's a lot of people that are book smart that do well in school, but they're still morons. I mean, we brought them on the show plenty of times. Like girls that have high level degrees and they're still idiots. So I would say education and schooling and being a good student doesn't necessarily mean you are intelligent.
It's just your drive.
We
It's your
should all
drive.
take a. You
Yeah.
should do one time like everyone takes an IQ test and then like comes on.
That'd be funny.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
just out to your point as well.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, your choice of wanting to learn and become better means who you are today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even though we might have, for example, like issues of schooling, environment, and these other external issues, if you're a person that wants to do better for yourself, black, white, Asian, doesn't
not
matter,
happy.
Chinese. Once again, it's all on you as an individual to do
Yeah.
better for yourself.
And
Correct.
I would
I
argue
agree.
that it is nurture far more than it is nature. And I
Okay.
believe that Nick is arguing that it is nature far more than it is nature.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
and it's part of a bigger point of view, which is that I think that genetics play a much greater role than people would like to believe. I think that so much of our behaviors are genetic. I think that so many of our attributes are genetic. And I think that people have a bias against that because we have this culture. It makes us uncomfortable
It does.
because genetics are unchangeable and they're immutable.
Mm-hmm.
So people have this idea that, but there's an answer for this. People have this idea that if something's genetic, it's very frustrating because then I can't change it. I can't improve.
That's not true.
But what it's
Yeah, that's not true. Yeah, that's not true. That is not true. There's a lot of people that lose limbs. There are a lot of people that are, unfortunately, the word deform and have somehow miraculously beaten that odds. Now, we all know in life nothing is secure or certain if any work you put out. But if you do the necessary work and you push very hard, especially if you have any abnormalities and deficiencies, it is possible you could turn things around in your own life. It's not guaranteed, but it's very much possible. But because the society trains a lot of people to accept and think that you cannot overcome certain things, and they propagandize it, you're never going to overcome those obstacles. It's just the honest truth. Anyway, fair use.
tells us though, well, like height, like I can't make myself taller,
Right.
you know, and like
Well,
and there's a lot of
these
things.
days you can.
A bald person can't make themselves grow hair, and that's
These days you can.
I think Myron said
Hold on. I use an invasive hair transplant. Genetically, I would have been bald, so he's correct. He's correct.
So, and so the point is that, you know, although the reality might be that genetics matter a lot, we I think have a tendency to, it's wishful thinking that it's not so. Here's the thing though. When it comes to these attributes, the answer is like, yes, inequality is real. It should make us uncomfortable. It's a fact. You know, we see it all the time. And so many of the culture war issues are about inequality. Like when you look at the dating stuff or the sex incel stuff, it's about inequality. Gender stuff, it's about inequality. Race stuff, inequality. And the answer to inequality is that people are more than matter. People have souls. People are not just, you know, what their product of their labor is, or their house, or how tall they are. People are created by God. So the answer to inequality is not to ignore it and not to get offended by it or make it uncomfortable. We have to take those things into account to govern society, because we can't solve problems if we don't know the real causes. And so I posed earlier, you know, what's the persistent fact is black and white inequality. What's the answer? Is it racism or circumstance, or is it genetics? People should be open-minded about the genetics because we want to solve it, but we should love people regardless of, you know, whether that inequality is baked in or it's a result of discrimination. So that's just my thesis.
I mean, you package it really nicely.
I got a question.
Okay, and then her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about something else more fun. But
yeah. Wherever he said. Let me fix this. Make sure you guys like the stream, share the stream, support the channel. You know, the donation tab and super chat works. Oh, and I forgot to mention this. Please become a member of the Chaos Rain Show as well. Trying to grow and move forward and grow it like always. You know, I've already won a membership video on there, and I probably will make another one very soon. Still trying to determine what I'm probably gonna put on there, but nonetheless, you know, become a member of the Chaos Rain Show, video wise. Membership, 2 tiers. You can pick which tier you want, and depending what is the tier and how many people on certain tiers, I probably might do one on one tier or on both, depending on the, you know. But nonetheless, become a channel membership on this channel. See, this is the thing that they did not really gone over a lot of content, and probably there will be some contents that will go over these conversations, the more important conversations, because it needs to be known. And it has to be known because personally, we had to look beyond the word, the N word that this dude is saying, or what the one we're eager and egging on to hear. We gotta look at the panel of ladies that's here. A good portion are not even really considered ADOS, have no ties to Africans, Foundation Black Americans, or what they call, you know, American descendants of slaves. This man on here alone, with his racism, his ignorance, his dumbness, could come on a channel, a podcast like this, and exude and justify the inferiority of black folks, and very few black people that will combat him intellectually and destroy him intellectually are not going to be present. So what F and F does, they pick these ladies, they might give them a disclaimer, maybe not, and they on here knowing that they're going to go back and forth with a known racist that's going to keep spilling his rhetoric and his logic of why whites are, you know, superior and blacks are dumb and inferior. Let's keep listening. Fair use, fair use.
What? Like,
but no, but you just had me
marriage.
think. You just had me think about something. Because if it's genetics, right? So why is it when the slaves came over who were kings and queens, their offsprings didn't transform, I guess, or bring those king and queen qualities and attributes?
I don't think they brought kings and queens over, because what happened is that, I mean,
not
even
kings and queens. Okay, let me not mud it. Okay, cool.
But you see right there, you have to be careful, because when the transatlantic slave happened, they brought regular people from the west coast of Africa with the authority of these same kings and queens from Africa and certain nations to be captured and be sold off as slaves. They brought workers that work in their own tribes, their own land, their own language, to come here by force for the long trips for days and months. And the few that survived. And the rest didn't survive. They were thrown aboard to be eaten by the sea. And that's the little secret that they don't talk about. Fair use, fair use.
Well, but blacks sold other blacks into slavery. They were captured in wars. So,
and it still baffles me that I still hear Negroes today say that black people do not sell other black people. Are you dumb? Do you think the European, rather the Arab version of the Islam version of slavery, or even the Western Eurocentric slavery, just had their own merit with the gun and all that stuff, had the ability to sit there and say, I'm going to snatch you up and take you on a bridge? Are you serious? Especially in a black nation as big as Africa? We're not really thinking critically when we say these things. I think when it comes to a lot of black folks overall, we're too emotional with the information. I remember one African president right now from Kenya was apologizing to African Americans in America of their involvement, their foreparents that sold their people over here as slaves. The Africans well know what they did to black people here in America. They're well aware of the history. Hey, Great Pill, if you're down there, please come up. The link's in the chat room, please. Come up. I'm only going to be on here for a little bit longer, not long. So, really, truly, I don't want to hear these conversations when people say that black people are not involved in their own slavery. I mean, come on. Stop it.
But again, you said it was genetic. So there were smart blacks that got brought over here because we wouldn't have half of the shit that we have if we didn't have the smart blacks that came over.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, you look at African immigrants, they do way better than blacks in America.
Yes,
Medical
absolutely.
School,
Because there's still,
we're not talking about African Americans, so let's not muddy the waters.
We're talking about African immigrants.
Wait. Hold on, let me do this. I got you. I'm gonna drop the call link at some time. What is it with these so-called racist bastards comparing people from the continent to people that's American, born here, raised here, in regards to who does better? This is why I tell people many times, and the danger. And let me make sure my thing is still working. Make sure I'm still working. Okay. The danger that they will use, and they always have been doing this. They are using other blacks that's not tied to America, from the Caribbean to Europe to Africa, and even as far as South America, to conflate the numbers as black people as a whole in America and say they are black Americans. Yeah, this was good. I understand. Yeah, you get me on positive vibe. This was good. This was good. Yeah. They're actually adding on to the black experience, but they're not really black in nature. They don't have no really feeling or really have any ties to African Americans in America. What Nick is doing right now, people, is playing both sides of the fence by comparing black people in America and black people from another country and saying that you black people in America are too goddamn lazy, but people that come here are doing very well exceeding. But for God's sake, no person in America comes with nothing. If they tell you they come with nothing, they are lying to you. I had conversations with Cerulean Gray. He did content extensively on this. And I see some of the panel, I'm bringing up in a second. And through his own research, to know why black people, or what they call non-blacks, but people that immigrate from another country to America do well, is not only the system of the Foreign Aid Act, but allow them bring something like money or some here, and they get a lot of stipends, even tax exempt, which they don't want to admit this because if they admit that, then it's going to know that you're being fooled. Keep that in mind. Let's keep playing, and I'm gonna bring somebody up. Fair use, fair use.
That's right.
We're talking about slaves. I'm not talking about African Americans.
I'm talking about, well, here's the point I'm trying to make, though, is that the descendants of African slaves have, you say American blacks have a much lower income and wealth than whites. But you look at African immigrants like Nigerians or others, they have a higher average income than whites. That's because the immigrants are selected. The people that come here from Africa today as immigrants are already pre-selected. In other words, we're not just getting a bunch of people, we're getting people that are going to school on a visa, or they're an engineer on a visa or something like that. And so as a consequence, it would be hard to explain through racism why an African can come here and do super, super well, but blacks are mired in poverty if the answer was racism. But if the answer is genetics, it's like, well, the general population of blacks here is lower IQ than the average IQ of the immigrants that are coming here from Africa as students or workers or something else.
Doesn't that refute your claims then?
No.
Because if in the USA, the black IQ is lower than the average. But if we bring in blacks from the not USA, then their IQ is above average. So doesn't that refute your claim that IQ is how?
Because like I said, it's just an average. So the blacks that are coming over, like when I'm in Chicago, there's a lot of like black Uber drivers, and I talk to them on the way to the airport.
I feel like it's a non sequitur though.
No, but hang on.
There's a lot of Hispanics that are Uber drivers.
Okay, no, but you're
okay.
Let me finish.
Please.
And so a lot of the times, they're students, they're software engineers, they're very intelligent, they're very hardworking, and I know they're going to make it. I see why average.
And you see, that's the killer right there. They say they're hardworking. Oh yeah, you're gonna be working hard. You got the necessary resources possible to really come up. It's very rare to find anybody that's not born in America, personally, that just came straight from another country up here, do very poor, in my opinion. And it's not ambition. Let's get that straight. They did came with something. Let's keep that in mind. I'm gonna keep running, and I'm gonna soon open panel.
Income of a Nigerian is like $80,000 in America, and it's because there's a selection bias. The selection bias is that the Africans that are coming over as immigrants are higher IQ, and so the function is IQ. The blacks that are here that have an average low IQ have a much lower income. The blacks that are already selected as coming over as students, engineers, have a higher IQ. They do very well.
Okay. So
have you ever heard of generational?
I want to add to what he said real quick because I know you want to switch it. He's correct, because to get an F1 visa, you have to get accepted by some type of university coming to the United States. So that in itself screens out a lot of people that otherwise were morons or wouldn't be able to. Just off of the F1 visa program itself, that screens out a lot of retards.
So they're groomed to become better.
Because they can't get an F1 visa and come here unless they can get accepted to a school which meets the requirements of university, which already going to beat a lot of Americans out that don't go to college. Sorry, you had something?
So I was going to ask you, have you ever heard of generational curse? So you...
No, we don't know about that. All right, Great Pill, you ready?
Yeah, what's good, man?
Turn your mic up high. If you can.
What about now, sir?
Sounds better. Maybe it's my desktop, but we're gonna manage regardless.
Testes 1 2 3. Testes 1 2 3.
Don't worry. Let me raise my volume a little bit. Kind of want to know feedback. All right, speak something now.
Testes 1 2 3.
All right, good. It was my end. Yes, and let me switch back over. Damn, I'm not sure how long you've been listening to the stream.
I already seen like most of this, and it's a lot. Yeah. What you got?
And Myron will say that because Myron is, unfortunately, I don't think he was born in America.
No. Well, he was born in. I believe he was born in the States because he always preach about Connecticut. But I think
Hartford, Connecticut is
correct.
His
I think more of his I think his mom and dad was from pretty much outside the country.
So he is the first generation American then.
Correct.
All right, that makes sense. Yeah. All right, go on, I'm listening.
Yeah. As far as I'm just honestly, I'm pretty much like low key just ignoring Walter Weeks on the left, aka Fresh, because he literally adds no value, no type of conversation to any part of conversation.
No, he don't add no value. He
Yeah,
does.
that all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he has
he
his own
just
YouTube channel. He only talks about business, but it's like I'm saying, dude,
even his
you're
business is crap. So I don't even know what. Yeah,
no, no. I know because I looked at his channel. I knew he had it on YouTube channel, and I see
Mhm.
what content he has in it. But I'm thinking, dude, you're a tech dude. How the hell you talking about this and that business, and you're pretty much the same age, maybe a year younger or 2 years younger than um than Myron to talk about business. This is some usually anybody that's dealing with business aside of thing. You got to me to really take it serious. You got to be doing this for over close to 5 or I would say even more than 7 years.
I
And,
agree, and at the same time, part of
yeah,
business is sales, and I don't want to disrespect him, but he had a speech impediment that he was just mastering when he came onto Fresh and Fit. That he took classes for because he had the money to do it. So
wow, I did not even know
yeah,
that. I did not know
yeah,
that.
he had a whole speech impediment. So part of sales is you got to have that. You got that gift for gab. You got to have that tongue, right?
Yeah,
So he
you
didn't
have to
have.
communicate effectively.
Yeah, he didn't have that at all. Even they show like when they was pretty much back in the early days, they was trolling him. They even showed a video of him on a commercial or something. He was doing it, I guess, quote unquote, trying to get his job, and it was asking like certain interviews, certain type of questions of what he could or how sell a bottle, what he can do for it, like kind of like some business sell tactic for him to see how he can advance or just see how he does. He just sounded just muffled and stuttering. Hell, I feel like I got the job before he could. And I don't even think I'm that good in sales, and I've done sales before for like years.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, what I was trying to iterate in regards to like what Nick's saying that the Africans do very well because they're high IQ, and let's be no saying you go back to this stupid IQ thing. You get me?
Yeah,
And
that's where.
I can see why most white supremacists use this as a crutch to say why they are superior or anything of tangibles. And I'm
Mhm.
thinking, this is the only crutch you can hold over non-black people, right? I mean,
Well,
non-white.
that's
I
like,
would say
well,
non-white people, which mean black or other groups of people, then you really don't have nothing to stand on
yeah,
because
that's how you add divide. That's how you add divide too. Like, let's just say, like I'm, born American, right? And let's just say,
yeah,
well, we'll flip it. You born American, I'm outside the country. I come in, and then we have that quote unquote white person, and we never met, but he might be whispering a bug in my ear of my advances and stuff I did because for me on my end, I felt like I bust my ass and worked hard outside the country just to get to here. Then when I get here, I have to start out over fresh. That's pretty much a norm for most. Because now you here already working hard, busting your ass because you're here. This is home base for you. Now I come in and get a little bit above to you, then somebody else whispering bucks your ear, putting hate on me. That's pretty much how they do. Instead of just like, hey, I came in on from struggling. You came in from struggling. It doesn't matter what part of the fence we came from. We came in both struggling. So hey, either depending on the type of career, business, or whatever, either we come up build together, but we shouldn't have that ego against each other to downplay each other. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, our culture is different. I might be from Guyana, Africa, whoever, but when I come here, my goal is my own, just like your goal is your own.
Yeah.
But if we have a common ground or something, let's move forward with that. But even if we don't have a common ground with business or just some kind of, if we're just working together, you still do you, I still do me. But I'm not going to sit there and shun you for what you are, who you are. That doesn't make any sense. So I think that's pretty much what a lot of what Nick and the quote unquote white supremacists they like to do a lot. So when they screen these rhetoric and stuff like that, then you might come get a Walter Weeks and a Myra Gaines. You get those little knuckleheads. They'll come in there with like, yeah, you sound like you're making some sense. I'm from Jamaica. I'll bust my ass. I work harder, and I got successful when I came to the States. So why can't that Black American do that? Why can't that Black American do that? I'm like, okay, maybe I am. And then they're speaking the same rhetoric over and over again and jumping on the fence with this guy. So,
well, matter of fact, here's a little tape of Nick. I'm gonna play the audio tape with this. Listen closely.
Our grandparents were right.
Hold on, let me see if I can fix that.
Fought in World War II, and our grandparents built the skyscrapers, and our grandparents built this country. And you know what? They had certain attitudes, and they were right. Okay, and our parents thought that our grandparents were crazy. You know, our parents were like, Mom, Dad, you know, you really shouldn't treat people like that. You know, that's really prejudice. And, you know, Mom, Dad, I ain't trying to do whatever I want. And now you have shirtless black people accosting you in a very expensive resort in Las Vegas. So clearly our grandparents were right. Okay, they weren't politically correct, and they were in fact racist, but they were right. And Generation Z has got to recover the lost wisdom of our racist grandparents. That's the real red pill. That's the real task at hand. It's our job. We are called as members of Generation Z to rediscover the lost prejudice and racism of our grandparents. Our grandparents were right.
Cash,
I
you
wish
copy on private chat.
Luck and you know.
Yeah, go ahead.
I
Okay.
don't.
Wow.
I really don't. I don't wish luck to racists.
Oh, I'm not racist.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Nick.
Yeah, I am a little bit
Yeah,
racist.
I know.
But listen, but it's not because I hate people. I love people. It's just race is real. Race is real. Race is a part of us. So, hey, it is what it is.
And the Italians, we do not claim you.
Oh, hey, the Italians don't claim you. You're the one dating a black guy. The Italians don't claim me. They don't claim you.
Oh no, they claim me. They claim me.
I don't think so.
They do.
Italian guys, yeah.
Italians,
Tell an
we're
Italian
big-
guy
we're
about
big
your
lovers.
affinity for black guys. That'll go over real well.
Good one, Nick.
Maybe some brajol. There's some Italian
No,
for
but
you.
I will make my black boyfriend some of that.
Ugh, wow. You don't know any.
All right, let's continue. Fair use.
Talking about genetics, like, yeah, I inherited some bullshit from my daddy because he lazy and all that type of shit, but that was because he became Americanized. They know who they are. They're embedded in who they are. So yeah, you're gonna get the Nigerian that is doing the things and all of the things. I don't know how to talk, but I mean, you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I know.
So you're gonna get the Nigerian that do all of the things. But if you have a black American who has been stripped of everything that they knew, they name everything, and they've been given some shit, right? You're gonna get that what you call genetic, whatever you talking about right there.
Yeah,
because because like she just said, you just said that black Americans are the ones that have lower IQs, but when a Nigerian comes from where they innately
Nigeria.
are Nigeria. I'm sorry, y'all trying to, because I'm
know what you
but
mean,
y'all know what I'm
Yo,
saying.
yes,
Anyway,
yes.
but what I'm saying
Let her
is
cook.
what I'm saying is generational curses is real. So that's that genetic you talking about. That's that bullshit that I got from my mama and my daddy. That shit that slavery stuff. You get what I'm saying? So yes, that's what you're gonna get. So that's what you're basing it out of, the black American. But when you talk about your Haitians and you're talking about your Hondurans, because they black too. When you're talking about your Dominicans, you get what I'm saying? When you're talking about people that are based, their culture is rich than the black American, yes. And that's why they come here and feel some type of way about us, because we don't know who we are, my love. So I get it. Sorry. Go ahead.
I guess like my final point, because I know we're going to switch topics soon. My final point would be like, as the person in grad school, like looking at what is the metric of the study that was being conducted? Like, was it done globally? Was it done in the US? Was it done in a specific country?
Do you know that it's kind of very disrespectful that no good Negro up here laughing at this woman, and the way how she's trying to articulate the alleged generational curse from her own logic, and I think I'm following her in this, and y'all can correct me, that the generational curse is being Americanized if you're black. Case in point, if your parents come from another country and you are first time generation and you kept some remnants of your culture, but eventually if you're groomed and raised here within the first 5-10 years, depending on your age, because age really matters. Let me go back and reiterate. If you come here as a young child or you're born here, you're going to be heavily influenced through this Western / American culture. And depending how strict your parents are and how they groom you in their own culture, you will still fall under the realm of being Americanized, potentially. Now, if you came here as a teenager going into high school, it's a little bit more tricky, but the younger you are, the better, because the notion from the Russian, I guess, strategist, I think his name is Vladimir, he said, give me the child at 6 and I'll have them forever. The younger the better to mold you into becoming what we call a Negro here in America. Keep that in mind. Fair use, fair use.
At what time frame was it done? What were the methods? Were there blinding? Were there randomization? Were there controls? What were the controls? Everything. And if I'm saying all of these words and no one is understanding what I'm saying, then I really encourage you to try and do some research on how to like interpret research, because it's fun, but it's important to know how to interpret quality research.
A study like that would never get done though because
Yeah.
of ethics. Realistically speaking, people are going to get offended and triggered, and it would never get funded
Especially nowadays.
Because here's the other thing too. Like, it's what's the benefit? Like, if you do the study and it comes out negative, and you find out that in fact that people that are black or black Americans have lower IQ, it's going to be terrible. So it's a L all across.
I actually
No one will fund it.
I proposed a study in one of my pathways in school where I wanted to take a look at racial profiling potentially in preschool children.
Mhm.
And my mentor said, well, Clammy, if you are doing this study and you find that Black children do get expelled more or they are racially profiled, then it begs the question, like, okay, are they more misbehaved? Are they targeted more? And that is something, like the point that you bring up is something we have to be very, very careful of.
Yeah, they wouldn't fund it. But now going back to what you're saying about like, were your parents like first generation? Were their parents born in the United States, or were they from?
So yeah, my mom is from South Carolina and my dad is Haitian. So my grandfather went through the Jim Crow era, whereas white fountains, black fountains.
Yeah.
He did not He did not make it past middle school because he had to help his mother.
Okay.
To work. He had to work.
Okay.
So my mom came here. Everybody came here around when she was 6. So yeah, it is that South mentality. Like it is. I can only give you what I know, what I got. Because
I'll be
this
honest,
is what I know and this is
that's
what I got.
I think that's a cop-out, because the reality is you're worse off immigrating from a foreign country, not knowing the language, coming over here and trying to make a way, than someone that was born and raised here with all the opportunities. People might say, oh, welfare, I'm a product of government cheese and, Section 8, whatever. You're still better off than someone coming from like a Nigeria, a Haiti, whatever. The reality is that it's not necessarily that a lot of Black Americans are unsuccessful because they're Black, is because they're just fucking lazy. Whereas you take an immigrant from Africa, they come over here and they figure out a way to make money, not even knowing the language, not knowing the culture, not knowing anything, and they figure it out.
Fair point.
And I think the reason why is because they don't have the opportunities in their country. They come over here, they actually appreciate it, they thrive in it, and then they make something of themselves, versus someone that was born here, they're entitled to it, they think they deserve it, and then they complain and cry about why they're not where they want to be, and they blame it on the white man, when in reality they're just lazy.
I agree with.
You know why this conversation will never end in regards to who's lazy or not? And I think my answer is simple. Because overall, how Black people view their struggles and stuff, that they're gonna really succeed. I always question, what does success really look like here in the West, in America? Because let's say Black people are lazy. Okay. What the hell you do with lazy people? Because after a while, laziness doesn't get you far in life at all, regardless if you're getting any government assistance. Eventually, you're going to have to sink or swim eventually. I don't really believe or even really agree that human beings by default can be really lazy. Because how society is structured now, regardless, we said money is easy to make now. No, money as always, since existence, is scarce. How I know this? Because think about this. All these major corporations that's been established for the last 100, even go as far as maybe over 120 years, were small one time. But at the time, if you look at what was the racial dynamics at the time, European men, women, especially white men, were the ones that are the centerfold of this country, still en masse in high numbers, while everybody else during a time where they were segregated were establishing the same outcomes. But we all know, we definitely know, the business were destroyed. And please, guys, keep hitting the like button. I know this is not something that we were expected to really go through, and as you know, I was going to take that approach to really go at these ladies, which I am, still am. But over here in the Chaos Rain Show, we're going to look at the videotape and analyze it as an actual whole to see what was the real conversation going on here. It's already bad enough that we already know we've seen a bunch of people on these panels. They're not even Foundation Americans. It makes sense they would have a racist on their channel. It is obvious they're going to have racists on their channel. That's something that people are not expecting it to really like to hear, but I'm just telling it as is. This is by not coincidence. This is well organized and laid out and planned out. The divide was always here amongst Black people in this country, men and women. And then we could even go as far as the people that's not born raised here, create the even further divide. Because now they're talking about IQ and all this stupid nonsense. That's why when people talk about the solutions, there's no solutions. There's only really trade-offs. And the only person that's going to deal with the trade-offs are the people that are the majority in this country. So, you know. Anyhow, let me keep going. Wait, let me make sure everything is good on my end because I see some things going on here. Before I continue playing this. All right. So let's continue, and I'm probably going to eventually wrap this up.
I agree with some of that, but I don't agree with all of that because we could go back to the system. It's systematically
Exactly. That's
worked.
I was about to bring that.
It's systematically worked. They drop things. Come on, man. Black people have been trying to be. They bombed a whole black market. Come on, y'all. Let's not act like we didn't never ever.
Let me ask you this then. Who has more opportunity? Someone coming here from a poor third world country in Africa, or someone that's been systematically impressed in the United States?
Who has more opportunity?
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously the one
that's here. Yeah, the American dream. Yeah, let's talk about it.
So explain to me how someone that's born here, raised here, has the language, has a U.S. citizenship, which people die to come here and get all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Explain to me why they're a failure when someone comes here, doesn't know anything, comes here on a visa, makes their way up, gets a visa to stay here from getting a job and being productive.
Not everybody,
and then they earn their ability to get a U.S. citizen, and they make it further than the person that was born here that had inherent advantages.
I feel you, but what happened?
Hold on. Yes, they were systematically oppressed. Cool, I get that. But third world poverty is always going to be way worse than American poverty and being oppressed.
Okay, so what happens when a Cuban and a Haitian come? Because I feel what you're saying. I get it all, but at the same time, it's different when you could come here and you could just get off a ship and you could get more than me than what I work. I'm an American and I work hard. They get a check. They get food stamps. They get everything. Come on. And then I'm working in a system where I see it all the time. It ain't a lot of black people coming in. And where I'm at, acting like they entitled.
Are you talking about the Cuban wet foot, dry foot?
Yes,
policy?
and I was trying to
you know what's that from?
right. I was trying to get there.
You're talking about that.
Go ahead, take it
How
off.
about this? How about this?
Take
What's
it
better? Okay, You're born and raised here. You can speak the language. You have free education, right, all the way up until college, and you have an American citizenship. Or you come here from Cuba, don't speak the language, don't have any status. Your ability to travel is limited. You don't have any documents to be able to go ahead and get a driver's license or get a job or anything else like
And
that.
you still get everything, bro.
No, hold on. And you get a couple of, let's say a couple of $1,000s, right? Through the wet foot, dry foot situation. Who's better off, realistically
The
speaking?
person that's coming here off the boat, bro.
No, so
hold on. Can I just real quick? So
Yeah, I know where this Myra get this idea that people that are born and raised here in America, they getting free education on. So that's some new information. I don't understand that. What I'm gonna do? All right, let's keep going. Fair use, fair use.
Am I wrong? Am I saying
I keep forgetting. So basically, for me, right? I'm from Barbados.
Okay.
I came here 7 years ago, right?
All right, I'm not gonna listen to Fresh because he doesn't bring nothing really tangible to the stream. And much times I let this go on. Let's flip boards and let's go to what people come to see and hear. Nick Fuentes and these black so-called succubus. Cheer him on. Let's go, Nick.
2 hours. Come on, Nick. What you got?
All right, nigger.
Oh yeah, ban them now.
Not a nigga.
Yo, it is amazing to me how a word can get everybody so fucking mad, bro.
Wait, hold on. Yo, we asked for it.
We didn't ask for it. You guys asked for it.
I definitely want to know what. I definitely want to know what's on your top because you gonna definitely know what's on mine. Cracker.
Top one.
Do it, Nick.
Do it. No, I can't.
I'm fitting in
That would be impolite.
Do it, Nick, so you can get banned again.
We're on Rumble. You can say it.
Say it. Come on, man. I want you to say
Say it for real.
Yeah.
What you got?
You want me to say it? Is anyone gonna hit me if I say it?
No. 2 hours. Come on, Nick. What you got?
All right, nigger.
You guys asked for it.
I
You guys asked for it. We didn't ask for it. You guys asked for it.
They said the guys asked for it, but why you ladies were cheering on and begging the man to use the N-word? That got me. And that's the part they did not want to play. For all y'all that watched that crap that I just played, if y'all got to this far link to the stream, they didn't play that part. That's for sure. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I think I've invested more time in this stream than I need to. I hope y'all guys, and really to answer the question, I'll give you the answer to the question. Does Nick Fuentes love to degrade blacks? The answer is yes. Men and women. And how he does so? By letting you know and emphasize all day, every day, that you are inferior. And inferior is derived because you have low IQs. That's his rhetoric in regards to his justification of degrading not only other groups within his own other groups that's white, but also to ones that's non-white. So, looking forward to hearing from y'all in the comment section of this video. Make sure you hit the like button on your way in and on your way out. I know most people, I'm not sure what it's doing right now with in regards to likes. It did something to likes while ago, I don't know what, but I don't care. Your participation is well deserved enough. So I can hang my hat to that. Also, please leave a comment at the end of this video. The links to follow me are to find. Follow me on Twitter at ChaosRain7. Add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Rain on Facebook. Join my Rumble page. I just added, and I'm probably gonna put some content on Rumble. So follow me on Rumble. Try and grow that so I can start putting some real live streams over there. Also, join the Discord service of the Chaos Rain channel as well. Those links are not in the description of this video. And also the links to the Rumble, and the Rumble is on the chat room on the replay of this stream. And please leave a comment at the end of this video. Look for and hear from you. And that is pretty much it. Thank you again for listening to today's broadcast. Until next time, Adios. Rain.